agents, FBI Director Christopher Wray, and Attorney General Merrick Garland. Sources tell Fox News the threats continue at a steady pace online. Justice Department security procedures are not made public. Republican lawmakers have raised serious concerns about the search warrant issued for Mar-a-Lago as part of an investigation believed to be focused on documents taken from the White House when former President Trump left office.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The Department of Justice today saying it's charged an Iranian operative in a plot to kill John Bolton. He was former President Trump's national security advisor at one time. America's listening to Fox News.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
But do you know what our most important ingredient is?
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Just have to call it nice this afternoon. 83 degrees, dropping humidity, partly to mostly sunny skies. Tonight, clear, cool, comfortable. Upper 70s this evening, 62 for the overnight low. Thursday, partly sunny skies, maybe a spot storm, another weak front moving in. Ahead of that front, we should jump to about 88. But Friday and Saturday, partly sunny and 80, 85 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's happening right here, right now.
A source says the FBI agents brought a safe cracker to get into what's described as a relatively new safe.
This is improper and it is misconduct, and we have to find out what the facts are.
They were not being judicious about what they took.
These people are committed to doing whatever it takes, including destroying the Constitution, in order to retain power. And that's going to be a major issue between now and the election this fall.
This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all of the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for another Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Thursday, August 11th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online at retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and concerned how all the market volatility is hurting your retirement accounts? Would you like to know why our clients have not lost a penny with all the market losses this year? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can now roll over your 401k tax-free to protect your nest egg and still generate more income than most investment options? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Thursday, August 11th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Call 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
With Odyssey music stations, there's a different station
for every taste. And they're all free. Listen to 97.1 live on your phone or browse the selection of music stations and make a soundtrack to your workday. It's all at Odyssey.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on a Saturday, and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
It happened over the weekend. On CNN, both Sunday and this morning, New York Times reporter Maggie Haberman was out flogging a story that she's covered before, the allegation that President Trump flushed documents down a toilet. She came armed with pictures, this time supposedly from a source, just in time to promote her new book. Haberman may well be the John the Baptist on this raid story. Watch this, Laura.
Gross and important, I think, are the two important words here. People are going to make all kinds of jokes about toilets and so forth. It would still be a story if it was a fireplace. And the point is about the destruction of records, which are supposed to be preserved under the Presidential Records Act, which is a Watergate era creation.
How curious, Laura. 2 days she went out flogging this story. The timing of this and the leaked pictures to Haberman making the rounds. It all does seem rather coordinated, predictable, and, as she said, gross and important indeed.
Raymond Arroyo on Laura Ingraham a couple nights ago talking about what we've all been talking about here for the last 48 hours. Why was Maggie Haberman talking about that this weekend? Why was Maggie Haberman talking about these types of documents and the Trump administration, the Trump private residence documents that he might have at his administration? Why was he discussing that? Here's more from him.
The point is, as we've seen in the recent past, journalists are often used to trot information into the public domain, and then that becomes the predicate for federal action. We saw that with Michael Isikoff, who was at Yahoo News. He was the guy who carried the Steele dossier into the public domain. That became the justification for federal investigations and subpoenas, and on it went until they admitted there was nothing there.
So Maggie Haberman she's a New York Times columnist, and she's on CNN this weekend. I'm reading from the CNN video caption here. Haberman confirms Trump habit was bad for his plumbing in his presidency. The New York Times, Maggie Haberman joined CNN's New Day to reveal images backing up her reporting on former President Donald Trump's habit of flushing key White House documents down the toilet. On CNN this weekend. Why was she talking about that? Well, listen to what Raymond Arroyo is saying there. This is key because with each other accusation that in two separate cases boiled over into impeachment of a president of the United States. Russia collusion? Pfft, false. Fake news. Second impeachment, a phone call with President Zelensky where Joe Biden was being looked into. It was the implication that Joe Biden and the Biden ties to what was going on in Ukraine were being investigated. We know now that Hunter Biden was under federal investigation through the whole second impeachment. We know this. And what did the Adam Schiffs and the Nancy Pelosi's and, the rest of the people leading this impeachment charge, what did these individuals of the world make sure that everybody heard? Two things. That it is completely inappropriate and improper for the president of the United States to use his office to dig up dirt on a political opponent. And just to make sure we're following here on the same path, they were talking about Donald Trump digging up dirt on Joe Biden from the office of the presidency. And the second thing we heard is no one is above the law. In the midst of all of that, you might remember Chuck Grassley and I think maybe it was Lindsey Graham. I know Chuck Grassley it was Ron Johnson from Wisconsin. Ron Johnson and Chuck Grassley are the two senators that were leading this charge or this investigation from the Senate perspective into Hunter Biden. And all of this stuff, this noise, the storm, this media hot air blowing all over the place is taking up all of the airwaves, all of the minutes. And those two senators were going, there's definitely smoke around crack pipe smoke around Hunter Biden and what his relationships are with foreign countries. There is a there. And oh, by the way, he actually was under investigation at the time. So the entire second impeachment was an accusation that was officially leveled, a charge officially leveled by the House of Representatives against Donald Trump, impeaching him for a phone call with President Zelensky because he had a conversation with him where he wanted them to utilize he wanted them to utilize the relationship to make sure that the relationship between the United States and Ukraine via the Bidens was above board. I don't think that the Biden name was ever even mentioned, but it's completely understood because the impropriety and the complete nonsensical relationship of Hunter Biden with no energy experience whatsoever, making like 50 grand or something a month for something he has no experience in. Yeah, it raises a lot of questions. Isn't it interesting? The mountain of evidence that exists around the Biden family, that exists around the Clinton family, that never gets investigated to the point where we see charges. It is right there in plain sight. It is obvious to anybody with two eyes and two brain cells to rub together that there is corruption that exists in those families. But we impeached Donald Trump 2 times. One, the first time, like I said, on a story created by the Hillary Clinton campaign. 2 times here, we have the Democrats creating stories, creating diversions for the American public to look the other way to what the Democrats are doing and to key in and focus in on what their Republican political opponents are doing. It happened in 2015 and 2016 to Donald Trump. The story was made up. We know that the Russian collusion, the dossier, we know it was complete and total fabrication, specifically timed to hurt Donald Trump's chances to become the president in 2016. That was the whole point. In the 2020 election, the Hunter Biden laptop story breaks. Why? Because Hunter Biden is a moron and he left his laptops laying around for people to come find, full of documentation of every waking and passed out moment of his life. Who does this? What level of narcissism have you reached to document yourself in the way that Hunter Biden has? Doing nefarious, illegal things regularly, daily. Do I care if Hunter Biden is a crack addict and a heartbroken individual who can't find self-worth in anything other than vices that he has? I have sympathy for him. I can't really say it's empathy. I have sympathy for anybody who is going through addiction and dealing with that. Was he involved in deals that were taking place on taxpayer dime in other countries while his father was the vice president of the United States? That bothers me. That's where I come in and become concerned about me, my kids, my family, my country. And I have a right to do that. The 2015, the 2016 debacle against then candidate Trump. None of that goes where it needs to go, develops into what it needs to develop to do what it was set out to do, which was to win Hillary Clinton the presidency. Donald Trump was never supposed to win. In 2022, we're not even supposed to know that this stuff happened. That was not the plan. You make up some information, you smear the candidate, you win the election, that stuff goes away. But they couldn't do it just by making up the story. They couldn't just manifest this story into being. They needed help. And they got it. They got it from the media, using the term loosely, the news media and BuzzFeed of all places, who decided, have you seen this dossier? You got to read this. Everybody's going to want to read it. Let's publish it at BuzzFeed. Right after you realize the 10 different ways you can communicate with your cat. You can also realize how the potentially future president of the United States had an inappropriate relationship with Russia and relationships with Russians. Well played. Well played. I get it. You got the media in your lap, but it wasn't enough to get the media in the lap. You needed more, didn't you? So you push it into the media, you peddle it around. There are some journalists out there who had too much integrity to run with this story and break this story. Why? Because there was no corroboration around it. And putting something else out like that would be journalistically questionable and potentially lack integrity and cause people to take your credibility into question, so they didn't run with it. So they got a pretty much gossip rag of sorts in BuzzFeed to print this article. And then what do? The rest of the media picks it up and reports on the report. They're not reporting it. They're not breaking it. They're reporting on the report. But that wasn't enough, was it? You had to get Peter Strzok. You had to get the investigators. You had to get the people on the inside to go your way and to push the story out into the open so that people would talk about it, voters would discuss it, people would be reclusive to it and pull away from Donald Trump and ensure the whole point of everything, classic ethics, ends justifies the means mentality. Hillary Clinton wins the White House, but she didn't. And it has been sheer panic and chaos ever since then. The elitists who want to control every facet of your life and are willing to do anything to put themselves in the power position to do it, they have not recovered. This is a 7-year condition for these people. And it has metastasized. It has gotten worse. They've lost their minds in it. And their playbook is getting old. It's getting tired. What do? Just like Raymond Arroyo pointed out, Maggie Haberman trots out on CNN and starts talking about this weekend. The things that Donald Trump would do to get rid of the documents and caused a lot of problem for his plumbing, elbow nudge. And, let's share a picture of a toilet with a piece of paper in it. To make sure everybody understands, there's a lot of sketch going around the Donald Trump residence and his preservation of classified documents. And does he have classified documents? Let's just put the question out in the air. And then, what happens on Monday morning? You're kidding me. The FBI is at the doorstep of the Trump residence without Donald Trump being president there. And they ransack the place. And then Maggie Haberman has a little bit more to say.
We're all going to remember being together on this night because this is a night where you are going to remember where you were. Even if this doesn't end up ultimately leading to, where Trump's critics and political opponents, and I don't mean in the White House, but I mean Democrats, some Democrats hope it would go. It's still a remarkable moment.
There you have it. She said it out loud. She put it out there for the whole world to hear, for the whole world to consume. What did Maggie Haberman just say? Even if this doesn't pan out where you are hoping and praying and on your knees with your hands to God, hoping that you finally get to see the orange man in an orange jumpsuit, maybe this is finally the day you're going to remember where you were. It's like when we landed on the moon or when JFK was shot or when Hillary Clinton won the president. Well, yeah, that didn't happen. This is a moment you're going to remember in your lifetime. This is it, folks. Get on the edge of your seats. You got an election coming up? Yes, you do. Is Donald Trump on the ticket? Nope, but he's living rent-free in every single one of their heads, and they can't shake it. It's like a tumor that you cannot get rid of, and it starts to take over your brain. It controls where your thoughts go. It controls what you do. It controls every facet of your life, and they cannot get rid of it. And like a tumor in your brain, an uncurable tumor in your brain, I think it's going to be what gets them in the end. Maggie Haberman wants everybody to understand the expectations here, which to me is mind-blowing, that she would come out here and even suggest for a second there might not really be anything that materializes from this very visual event of helicopters flying over Mar-a-Lago, keying in on Donald Trump, the man who is really close to being in handcuffs, that moment that we have all been waiting for 7 years to see, the orange man go to jail. We're so close, but maybe it might not be that way. Maybe we might not get to that point right now, but you need to understand this is still a moment we're all going to remember. This is still a key moment in the movement. They need this to play out for the next 90 days. They need to squeeze every drop out of the dirty, smelly sink washcloth that you should have thrown in the laundry 3 days ago. Every single drop. And this is what they've come to. Maggie Haberman is the lowest of the low. The playbook is put something out in the media, get people talking about it, get the law enforcement that we control on our side involved, make the story huge. We'll sort the details out later. Get everybody worked up, get everybody to remember which side they're on. You'd better not forget what side you're on, and you better get ready for battle. That is what they're putting out there for Americans right before election, because they believe the only way that they win is if you remember, A, you hate Trump, and B, you have to fight. That's what they want. Same for the converse. You love Trump and you have to fight. And when we fight, they win. That's how they win. Don't take the bait. The red wave is coming, and I think this is a massive backfire. Like I said, the metastasized tumor that they cannot get past. It's not going away, and it's a them problem. And it's one that we would all like to help these people cured from. But we can't help them if they're not going to help themselves. And we don't need to become part of the problem. Make sure that you keep your eyes squarely focused on what is truth and what is fact. Make sure that you understand when people are reporting on the story that you separate sensationalism and what people are trying to pull you to feel emotionally. You're a big girl. You're a big boy. You can feel your emotions all on your own. You don't need anybody to work you up for it. Stay focused. November is 90 days away. I think that they just made this Republican red wave bigger than it has ever been before. We're going to take a quick break right now, and I want to key you into the YouTube live chat poll. Serious question for the show, ironically. Considering the seriousness of recent news headlines, what do you want from a 3-hour talk show? We're here every day talking to you for 3 hours. I have to pick where we take this, how we take it, what we do with the time that we have with you. Here are your options. You want news and information? Do you want entertaining and fun? Combination of both, or it just depends on the day. Weigh in on the YouTube live chat and leave us a comment if you so choose. When we come back, we're going to talk to actor and comedian Jamie Lissow, and I can't wait to have this conversation with him. He's a frequent guest on Gutfeld. He makes me laugh out loud every time he's on. Jamie Lissow coming to the streets of St. Charles this week, and on the Annie Frey Show next. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Was the last time you had me in bits? Now shut up and let me go. Fuck fear of living immigrants.
This is a place for people to come together. Right here, right now. Make your voice heard. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
One of my favorite things that we do, probably 5 or 6 times a year, the Protecting Your Retirement educational events with Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, and the people at Retirement Advisory Group. They rent this facility, and you get to come listen for free with snacks. I emphasize that because I have kids, and I've realized that when I bring snacks for them, I really want snacks for me. There's going to be snacks there, so you're gonna be able to enjoy that free as well, and you're gonna get to learn how to make sure that retirement you've been working hard and providing for. You want to be able to live the way you expect to live in retirement. You're looking at the economy right now going, this is a little ridiculous. What's going to happen in 10 years? Am I going to be prepared? Everything that I have set aside for myself to provide for my retirement, is it going to be there like I expected it to be? Well, Thomas Helbig knows how to help you with that. And the Retirement Advisory Group has helped so many Annie Frey Show listeners and 97.1 FM Talk listeners be confident, worry-free in their retirement. Reserve your spot. It's Thursday, August 11th, this Thursday, 6:30 p.m. You got to reserve your seat. I'll be there at 6 o'clock from 6 to 6:30 meeting you, and I would love to see you. Reserve your spot, 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494, or you can do so online at retirementkey.com.
Transform your home into the most beautiful home in the neighborhood with Banner Construction, St. Louis's preferred James Hardy and Pella expert. Right now, the safest place to invest is in your home. Add curb appeal and value with a fresh new look you'll be proud to own. Check Banner out on the website, bannerconstruction.com, or call 314-569-1050 for a free in-home design consultation. And have a banner day. Again, the website, bannerconstruction.com, or just call 569-1050.
The following is a commercial announcement.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hi guys, it's Andrew. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, August 10th, we're running a one-day end-of-summer special you won't want to miss out on. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. We can now effectively treat your ED without any pills. If you're ready to transform your love life, grab your phone. Today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. Also, a gift that can produce powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that, guys. And today only, we're offering 5 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is our most lucrative offer ever, worth $1,000. But call today, Wednesday, and qualify totally free. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 314-530-7777.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AA MCO.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Am I just...
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. So happy to be with you on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon here in St. Louis, Missouri. I am excited for our next guest. I'm going to get straight to him. Jamie Lissow is here with us, actor, comedian, and I will remind you to check out Real Rob. It's a current original series on Netflix alongside SNL alum Rob Schneider. Jamie, welcome to the Annie Frey Show. I watch you on Gutfeld. I laugh out loud every time I'm watching and you're on.
Hi, Annie Frey. Nice to meet you. That's so nice.
So
I really appreciate it.
I want to ask you first. We do a live YouTube poll every day, and I'm kind of asking specifically about my show. I won't ask you to. You can review my show if you like. I'm sure you listen all the time. But regardless of that, I'm curious where humor fits in the seriousness, the gravity of what Americans are dealing with right now. You're a comedian, obviously it's important to you, but how important do you think it is currently to the country?
Yeah, I honestly think it's everything. And if you see me on Gutfeld, you may have noticed the last few months, I go straight for the jokes because I feel like we've just had a whole day of everyone and their very serious takes. And does anybody need one more take from me? So I really feel like the humor can solve so many of these things. If you look at like a lot of the issues we have, a lot of times it's people taking themselves too seriously.
Oh, sure.
And like sometimes you can just, I mean, that's all we do on Gutfeld is kind of like laugh at each other. And we're getting like the craziest response. Like the ratings have been just unreal. And I think the only explanation would be it's the only people trying to get some laughter, for goodness sake, when everything is so serious.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. We're speaking with Jamie Lissow. He's an actor and comedian. He's frequent on Gutfeld, and he's going to be at the streets of St. Charles Thursday, August 11th through Saturday, August 13th. I'm going to try to get a babysitter for my 4 kids and go see a show on. Yeah, I don't know if
you have 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good amount. What are the ages? What's the age range?
12 and a half, so almost a teenager. 1 boy, that's the 12 and a half, and then 10, 6, and 14 months.
Oh my goodness. I have a 13-year-old boy.
How's that?
It's the greatest. It's funny, when I had 3 kids, like obviously I started with 1, then 2, then 3. People now will say to me, like, do you have a favorite kid? Mm-hmm. I get this question all the time. And I think it's so weird because, as a parent, you're not really supposed to have like a favorite kid. But I will tell you, Annie, I do have a favorite kid, and they're not listening in Missouri. So I'll just tell you, it's my neighbor's kid.
Yeah.
This guy, just adorable.
Is there something about like a 13-year-old boy? I mean, there are thoughts going on, and my son probably is listening. So hi, Charlie. But like, you're trying really hard you're like, I got you for a few more years, and I need you to think for yourself. I need you to come up with some original thoughts and go do.
Hey, this is crazy. My son is also named Charlie.
Oh,
you
really?
have to come to the show now. Yeah, it's so crazy. I was going to say hi to my son, and then I was like, well, you already took care of it.
Yeah, hi, Charlie.
Same guy.
That's hilarious.
That's great. No, but you're right. It does get, after a show, oftentimes people will say things to me, that are like not helpful at all, or they'll tell me like a racist joke and tell me I can use it or something. Oftentimes it's not, And I had this one guy come up to me and he's like, can I talk to you? And I said, yeah. And he goes, you have a like 13-year-old boy. And he said, I have advice for you. And I'm like, hit me. And he said, treasure the time that you have your kid in the car with you. That was number 1. He said, they're kind of a great audience when they're in the passenger seat, and that goes away pretty soon. Oh. He said, so if you have anything to talk about, kind of plan it out when you pick them up from school or whatever. And I was like, it was like the 2 coolest pieces of advice I've ever gotten from someone in the crowd. The other one was, he said, learn the video games that they play,
mm-hmm.
and that will keep you like in their lives a little bit longer. So I'm telling you, I did that too. I play Fortnite. I play all that stuff just to stay connected. And that was great advice from this strange man after a show.
I didn't think that the Jamie Lissow interview was going to go by way of Fortnite, but I do play Fortnite with my kid, and it's hard to explain. Yes, and it's hard to explain to people who don't have that in their life, that need to connect to somebody else. But it is important to meet your kids on their turf and to be there. Like, I mean, we try to do the emotes and the dances and stuff. And you look like an idiot in the privacy of your own living room. You hope nobody ever sees it. But being able to connect with the kids when they're young, that's the key.
I think too, like not sitting down and directly going, I want to talk to you about this. Do you have a girlfriend? I think when you're doing something else, it makes it easier to like approach those subjects, right? Because you're just sort of like, you're doing this thing, but you're also talking. I think that really helps too.
That's great. We're speaking with Jamie Lissow, frequent guest on Gutfeld on Fox, which you all know I'm a huge fan of. I watch it. I try to watch it every night, DVR it. You have worked with Rob Schneider. You have a movie coming out, Daddy-Daughter Trip, and it's with John Cleese, Rob Schneider, and Jackie Sandler. You're working with some comedians that are high.
It's funny you mentioned Real Rob, because my mom just called me and she said, I like that show. She's obviously seen it before, but she's like rewatching it because she's my mom.
But she's good.
And she goes, she's a good mommy. And she goes, I like this show, but I don't like the way Rob treats you. And I go, Ma, this is a television show. I wrote those lines that he's saying to me. And I'm like, Johnny Depp's not really a pirate. I don't know what to tell you here.
Wait, what? You're kidding me.
Actually, that's not a good example anymore. He might be a pirate.
Yeah, Ask Amber Heard for sure. Do you think that comedy right now has a political party in 2022?
Oh my! So you mean like what would be the best for comedy?
No, I mean like I think comedy is the epicenter of freedom of speech. It's like First Amendment 101. And we've said this on this show a lot. The people who are going to bring this country back to sanity in a world where you are canceled if you breathe the wrong word and they can just change the definitions on you anytime, anywhere. The people who are unafraid to speak, those are comedians. That's you. You're on the front lines. Does that translate to being a political party?
It's an interesting question, and you're absolutely right. It is. Everyone will say stand-up comedy is the last bastion of free speech, but is it even anymore? Like, for instance, on Gutfeld, I just decided a year ago, I think I used to really play by the rules, and I kind of came from a place of fear, and a lot of that comes from you want to support your kids, you want to not get canceled to be able to put a roof over their heads and send them to college and things like that. But then like a year ago, because Gutfeld's a friend of mine, and I just appreciate what he brings as far as like comedy and truth and everything. And like a year ago, I go, you know what? I'm going to say whatever I want, regardless of the consequences. And that's just what I'm going to do. And it's funny, some guys, I don't want to get in trouble, but there are so many folks that watch Gutfeld, like comedians, like famous comedians, that would never go on.
Sure.
Because they're so afraid of being canceled. It's too bad, because you're right. It is free speech, but I think a lot of guys do feel limited, and thank God I did not have a really good career to lose. There was really
and you got kids to feed, so you got to show up and do the work. Jamie Lissow with us right now. You are going to be in St. Louis this weekend. You've got Thursday, Friday. Are you being arrested right now?
I was just about to apologize. My hotel, I was going to do this call in my hotel room, and they asked me to vacate it for a couple hours while they fixed the air conditioner. And I was like, sure. And then
was it the FBI telling you to step
I forgot. Wouldn't it be crazy if we found out it wasn't really the FBI that invaded Trump's place? It was just a bunch of people with those female body inspector shirts from like Myrtle Beach. And they got all the way in there.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think Trump would appreciate that.
Right? And how different are Trump and Biden? My goodness. Like, Trump's getting his house broken into. Biden's not even housebroken. It's so different. I'm trying out Gutfeld jokes on you right now. I'm doing Gutfeld.
You can come on here. I love it. And I wanted to ask you before we let you go, and I want to remind people, I'll tell you when we get done talking to Jamie where you can go get the tickets. It's in the description for today's show that we have streaming on YouTube. We talk to Tyrus every Thursday on this show.
You do?
And we've talked to I started talking to him when he first started coming. I think it was on Red Eye or when Gutfeld went to Saturdays. We picked him up.
Yeah.
He gave us the time of day. We were so excited to do it. He's actually coming to St. Louis to wrestle, which you probably heard because I think he talks about it a lot.
I did hear about that.
But he has said very complimentary things of you.
Oh, that is so nice. I'll tell you something. With Tyrus, he's for those that don't know him, he's a professional wrestler. He's an intimidating man. He's a big guy. And I didn't know if he liked me or hated me, like at first, because you're like, wow, this guy. And then something about, I made Tyrus laugh a couple times, and I don't know if I would compare that and childbirth, seeing your baby born to making Tyrus laugh. It's just such a wonderful feeling. And he will probably talk about this next time you speak to him. But
yeah,
me and Tyrus have a podcast coming out, and I've not been excited about something like this in a very long time because we've recorded several episodes already, but we're waiting to release it until we have, I think, 10 or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, I'm so excited. It's called Mensplaining. And so we sort of go through these stories and give our take on it. And then we have a woman from Fox News kind of tell us where we're wrong and where we're right. And man, it's the quickest hour of my day is doing this podcast.
That is what I had heard that you two were partnering up on. You said Mensplaining is a podcast people need to keep their eye out for. And we'll ask him tomorrow about you because he's on with us each Thursday. And, you know, every person that I've had on this show that's been on Gutfeld or Fox News, we're a Fox News radio affiliate here in St. Louis. It's always great to be able to connect with you. Real quick before we let you go, you're coming to St. Louis. You have any experience with St. Louis before? You've been here before?
I have been there before. So I've been to the St. Louis Funny Bone.
Yeah.
You know, every couple of years since I started doing comedy. It's always been like a club I loved. And I talked to the guy, Matt Barron, that runs the place over there, and he told me about how he's got a couple rooms now. And I am super – you know what? I lied. Like, I did it every couple of years when I first did comedy, and then I took a break to write into the movie stuff and the TV show. So I have not been there in a while. But back in the day, it was always a tour stop, and it was always great. And I'm psyched to see the new room. Yeah. And big fan of the city, big fan of the Funny Bone.
Well, we are going to talk about where people can get tickets after we let you go. And I'm going to try to make it out there. And like I said, you make me laugh every time. And I'm looking forward to your new series that's coming out, your new movie that's coming out, and Real Rob that's on Netflix right now. Jamie Lissow, thank you so much for the time today. It's been a pleasure to speak with you.
Hey, pleasure speaking with you too. I hope to talk to you again, and I hope you make it out this weekend. Take a little break.
Sounds great.
Get a babysitter.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye. stlouisfunnybone.com/streets of St. Charles. I have the link up on the description on our Facebook page, on the YouTube page that our live stream is playing. We're going to start putting the links to things we talk about during the day in those descriptions, and I'm also going to tweet it out right now. I'm going to try to go to one of the Saturday shows. So if you've watched Gutfeld, if you don't know which comedian is Jamie Lissow, he's the one with the ice blue eyes. And he is just I'm not going to say I was nervous. Nervous isn't the right word for this interview, but he walks into these jokes and he takes a sharp turn when he drops the punchline. And I don't want to step on the punchline. So it's like, I got to let him go and I got to let him finish it. And then if he's going to make a serious statement, I'm like, okay, now it's my turn. Now we move on. So funny. I wonder, you think he really has a 12-year-old son named Charlie? I guess he
definitely think he has a son. But that would be crazy if it. I don't think he'd lie to you. I think it's true.
You don't think he's a comedian? He tells stories. Yeah. I love him, and I hope you go check him out as well. We'll talk to Tyrus about him tomorrow. A reminder, speaking of Tyrus, we're giving away tickets to the Tyrus wrestling event coming to St. Louis. NWATix.com if you want to purchase those tickets. In the 2 o'clock hour, we're giving away another 4-pack. We've given away 2 4-packs so far. Why not another one today? Did I say it was Tuesday earlier? You know why I said it was Tuesday?
Does it say it on the sheet?
It says on the sheet. So I said it was Tuesday and it's Wednesday. Good grief. We'll be back in a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Show. We have Kenny Wallace on the phone. Your brother played a big role in sort of kicking things off, didn't he?
Yes. As we say in racing, Rusty dropped the green flag to start Sturgis this year.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Air Comfort Service, easy to find online. Where? Of course, aircomfortservice.com. Reach out to them with your heating and air conditioning needs. Is it crazy to talk about furnaces right now? Well, it might be, but you could beat the rush. Get your furnace tuned up before winter sets in. It's the middle of August. It's actually Wednesday, not Tuesday. I Ron Burgundied that on my show sheet today because it says Tuesday. I just looked at it and read it. But it is approaching the middle of August. I can tell you that. And when we get into September, you start getting to those days where all of a sudden you have a cold snap and then one day it's just cool. The hot air goes away, and you need to make sure your furnace is in good working order. For your air conditioning needs, for your furnace needs, you can reach out to Air Comfort Service and know that when they visit your home, they are going to treat you with kindness and respect. They are going to service whatever it is that you're having them look at, and it's going to be done with respect to you, your budget, your expectations. Air Comfort Service is the answer. They've been in my home, and I know that if you invite them into yours, you'll have the same positive experience I have had, as well as Google the reviews. They are glowing. You can find them online at aircomfortservice.com. You can call them at 314-513-0091. aircomfortservice.com.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-782-8000 or at chrisbuyshomesaintlouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay their rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. And check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And get the offer you have been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Chris Buys Homes in St. or call 314-782-8000.
I don't know what kind of car buyer you are. In this market, everything has changed. But if you're like me, you are a meticulous researcher. You look into everything. You shop around a lot. If you're like some other people in my family, who I won't say who they are, you just are ready to go. Ready for a new car? I'm going to go buy one right now. Well, either way, I want you to consider Genesis of St. Charles. Genesis is the luxury line within the Hyundai family. So you probably haven't heard of it because it's pretty new, but I want you to consider them, whether you're part of Group A like I am, you research, you look into it, research them. I think you're going to like what you find. Or if you're ready to buy one now, Genesis of St. Charles is located within the showroom of St. Charles Hyundai on Veterans Memorial Parkway. They're about a quarter mile east of Mid Rivers Mall. Very easy to find, very easy to get to in St. Peter's. And let me just add this. If you are ready to buy right now, Genesis of St. Charles is selling at MSRP or below. Not many people are doing that right now, especially for a luxury vehicle. So visit the St. Charles Automotive Campus or online, find out more about them and browse there at genesisofstcharles.com.
Tony LaRussa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic, mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
What we're doing today, we passed yesterday, helping taking care of everything from healthcare to God knows what else.
So Wiggins America Today and the IRS. God knows
Wiggins!
what else.
Oh, Wiggins! Yep.
Do you know today is Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday. No, I wouldn't have known that.
I just advanced a whole day in a matter of 15 minutes in my life.
So you said it was Thursday or you were behind? You were Tuesday?
No, I said it was Tuesday because Brad left it saying Tuesday. He didn't change the day or the date on the top of my sheet, and I just read it. And I said that to Jamie Lissow. He had to have been thinking.
He's probably thinking the same thing we are. It's not Tuesday?
What a dumb...
It feels like Tuesday to me too, but it was because I was off Monday.
And you've got idiots on the radio who are supposed to be telling you important things going, hey, happy Tuesday, beautiful Tuesday. I'll say, blah, blah, blah.
How many times did you say it?
It is now Wednesday. I don't know. I definitely said it at least once. Because I ended up looking up there going, is it only Tuesday? Because I had an event on Tuesday and I remember.
Yeah, but it's also very common to say the wrong day. However, because people say the wrong day so often, they trust the radio to tell them what day it is.
It's Brad's fault.
Well, in Wiggins America today, did we play the thing yet? I didn't know. Did we play the Wiggins America? I wasn't even listening.
This is impeccable radio.
So,
this is how the pros. You know what? Heck, it's Saturday. Bye.
Yeah. See ya. It's Saturday and it won't be long. I looked at the math of the IRS thing because this 87,000 new IRS employees is just mind-boggling to me. Apparently, there are only 78,000 employees there right now. So you're talking about if they're actually going to use all that money to hire new employees, which is debatable whether that's what it's going to go for. But that's how they're getting the number. They say this is how much money, this is how many employees you could hire with that. And it's not just agents. The fact checks are out there. Well, they keep saying it's going to be IRS agents. It's not actually agents. It's employees. Okay, fine. 87,000 new IRS employees is what we're going to say. So that's the math that I used. And quoting Time Magazine here, by going more forcefully after tax cheats and increasing compliance, the Congressional Budget Office estimates the agency will increase revenue by $204 billion over the next decade. Keyword there, decade. They're not talking about per year. They're talking about over 10 years. That's $20 billion a year. So if you do the math, like I just did for you, Glassdoor says the average salary of an IRS employee is $81,000. So it's no huge leap to say that if you add benefits, you add the cost of doing the audits, travel costs,
6 figures,
office space, general worker costs, electricity, rents, all that stuff. It's safe to say that you could spend $100,000 per new employee, right?
I think that they usually say that your benefits are usually worth about a third of your salary.
So this would actually be above that then.
Roughly.
Yeah. So, but I thought fair, we'd say just $100,000 per new employee, just to be fair. That's $8.7 billion per year that they're going to have to find from your pockets just to cover their own increased expenses from this.
Well, so just raise taxes.
Of course.
What do you think those IRS agents are going to do? I don't know why this is so complicated for everybody to figure out. This is the first time they've paid for what they're actually increasing.
I just thought we'd take a look and make sure we were all on the same page when we look at what this means as far as, spending money and them coming after your money. And they also say after the $8.7 billion per year that they'll have to increase just to break even, that they're going to make an additional $20 billion. So they are coming after a whole lot more of people who have loopholes or things you missed. Now, hang on a second, though, because what they said was they won't be taxing anyone in this bill. This is all the big Build Back Better stuff, right? They won't be taxing anyone who makes under $400,000 a year. Now, they didn't say they wouldn't audit anybody who makes under $400,000 a year. So all these 87,000 new IRS employees, they may still be coming after you if you make under 400,000. Let's just be clear. But the percent of people who they will be taxing more now above 400,000 a year, only 0.8% of Americans make above $400,000 a year. So what they're saying is they needed 87,000 new people to go after 0.8% of America to make this increase of $20 billion a year. I know it's a lot of math, but essentially what we're saying is even the publicly available numbers don't make a whole lot of sense here in the whole Build Back Better scheme.
Did you know at the end of 2017, the IRS had just short of 5,000 guns and over 5 million rounds of ammunition, and that in 2022 they added an additional $700,000 purchasing in ammunition? Oh, and then they added 80,000+ agents.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were agents in the same sense of sunglasses and tie agents.
You will soon.
I guess so, because they got a lot of ammo.
Yep.
Yeah. This is just amazing to me that just that fact. I mean, there's so much other stuff in this Build Back Better spending plan that I can't believe they got at least Joe Manchin to agree to, because it was a 50-50 tie. Like, no Republicans voted for this thing. But just that one fact has been overshadowed a little bit, I think, by the whole FBI raid, because that is a big, big deal. The IRS increasing, basically doubling its own body count to come after more of your money going forward. That's not a good thing.
Yeah. Peter Doocy said it best. I wish we had that clip. Did you pull that clip from yesterday? Because we aired it. We went back and aired it. Peter Doocy says,
Yeah.
Do you have it?
Is it the one where he asked about that being popular with people?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
Cut
one?
12.
Cut 12. This is so funny. I laughed out loud yesterday when he said this to Corinne Jean-Pierre.
Do you think it's going to be popular when the 87,000 new employees hired by the IRS go around and start auditing people to pay for the Inflation Reduction Act?
So this is focused on those who are, corporate wealthy tax cheats that congressional Republicans wanted to defend.
So no new audits on anybody making under $400,000
No.
a year.
Very clear. No.
So yesterday, that was the clip I was looking for yesterday. But yesterday, he says to Corinne Jean-Pierre, after asking her multiple times questions about Joe Biden and political opponents and Donald Trump, he goes, "Who actually thinks that the American people are asking for more encounters with the IRS?" Peter Doocy is absolutely spot on. We're going to take a quick break. No,
5750.
5750. Banner day on the
doing
Annie
good.
Frey Show.
Doing
Yes, I am digging this hour. Well, I will take the opportunity to tell you, Jamie Lissow, I said I was going to do this. He is Thursday, August 11th at 7:30, Friday, August 12th, 7:30 and 9:30, and Saturday, August 13th at 7 and 9:30. And you can get those tickets at the stlouisfunnybone.com website. Are you familiar with Jamie Lissow?
After hearing him, I think I am.
You don't watch Gutfeld though?
No, not regularly, which I regret. I just don't have cable.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's so funny. He makes me like literally every time he's on the show. I'm not going to say that I bust out laughing every time he speaks, but it is guaranteed every time he's on the show that at one point I like burst into laughter when he's talking. So go see him at the St. Louis Funny Bone. And then also Tyrus tickets. We're giving away some Tyrus tickets, another 4-pack of tickets to see him wrestle when he comes to St. Louis in the 2:00 hour. So stick around for the Annie Frey Show. Might give you another tip along the way, more specifically as to when you need to keep your ear to the radio. And when we come back in the 1:00 hour, let's talk to Deroy Murdock and Hogan Gidley. Lots to talk about there. We'll be back in a minute.
Attention. Per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID testing kits with no out-of-pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free, as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit testkitforfree.com to register now from the comfort of your own home. That's testkitforfree.com to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to testkitforfree.com today. Paid for by T Euro Health.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
Have higher mortgage interest rates put you on the sideline of buying a new home? Well, not anymore. TR Hughes Homes and our preferred mortgage lender have teamed up to reduce your mortgage interest rate on all brand new, ready now TR Hughes inventory homes. Example, a 5.5% rate would be slashed to 2.5% the first year, 3.5% the second year, then 4.5% the third year. 3 years of below market interest rates on all TR Hughes completed inventory homes. Supply is limited, so don't wait to take advantage of this unbelievable offer. Certain restrictions apply and must qualify. Visit trhughes.com for details.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Leading the fifth, I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. Former President Trump issuing a statement today indicating he refused to answer any questions under oath in a New York civil investigation into his business dealings.
Mr. Trump released a statement soon after he entered the offices of the state attorney general that said, in part, I did nothing wrong, which is why after 5 years of looking, the federal, state, and local governments, together with the fake news media, have found nothing. It goes on to say, and accordingly, under the advice of my counsel, and for all of the above reasons, I decline to answer the questions under the rights and privileges afforded to every citizen under the United States Constitution.
Fox's David Lee Miller. Democratic Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams has COVID-19. Campaign spokesperson Alex Floyd says Abrams tested positive for the respiratory illness this morning after giving a public speech on the economy last night in Atlanta. He says Abrams is fully vaccinated and boosted and is experiencing mild symptoms. She's now isolating at home. President Biden today signing legislation that will expand health care access to veterans exposed to war zone burn pits.
The PACT Act was long overdue, President Biden said, putting his signature on the legislation that was years in the making.
This new law matters. It matters a lot. It matters a great deal because these conditions have already taken such a toll on so many veterans and their families.
The bill enhances healthcare screenings for potential toxic exposures and extends the period of time veterans have to enroll in VA care post-discharge. The PACT Act is named for Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, who died of lung cancer years after serving in Iraq.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Federal prosecutors in Michigan telling a jury today 2 men being retried in a plot to kidnap Democrat Governor Gretchen Whitmer wanted to ignite a second American revolution. America's listening to Fox News.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with a push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Just have to call it nice this afternoon. 83 degrees, dropping humidity, partly to mostly sunny skies. Tonight, clear, cool, comfortable. Upper 70s this evening, 62 for the overnight low. Thursday, partly sunny skies, maybe a spot storm, another weak front moving in. Ahead of that front, we should jump to about 88, but Friday and Saturday, partly sunny and 80, 85 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
97.1.
This is a clarion call to the Republicans, independents, and Democrats who are frightened by what they see and say, we've got to do something.
Then there better be a very, very good explanation for all of this.
We're in uncharted waters, something that we haven't seen before, definitely in this country.
Whatever they were looking for, they better have found it, and it better be some kind of big bombshell thing. Because if it's a nothing burger, if it's even lukewarm, oh boy, there's going to be hell to pay.
97.1 FM Talk.
Well, this is Ryan Wiggins. I'm always thankful when people who listen reach out to me and ask, who's that dentist you're always talking about? It's Dr. Ty Parker in Fountains Family Dentistry in Fairview Heights. And in this case, somebody said, hey, what's the deal? Because I don't have insurance. I know I need work. And if you're in that camp where, yeah, you haven't done the cleanings and you're getting to where you're feeling it, you know, you need something. You can reach out to them. They're very, very willing to talk to you, and they have new patient discounts and all of that. So if you've never talked to them, you're almost going to be better off. And reach out to Steve. Just say, hey, I've got this issue in my mouth going on right now. I know I need work, but I don't have insurance. And they can walk you through what that looks like, whether that be payment plans or what other options their insurance can offer you. That is the best way to do it, is to call them and just schedule that consult. Fountains Family Dentistry, again, in Fairview Heights. Give them a call by visiting their website, fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, August 10th, we're running a one-day end-of-summer special you won't want to miss out on. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. We can now effectively treat your ED without any pills. If you're ready to transform your love life, grab your phone. Today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. Also, a gift that can produce powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that, guys. And today only, we're offering 5 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is our most lucrative offer ever, worth $1,000. But call today, Wednesday, and qualify totally free. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 314-530-7777.
Replacing your windows should be stress-free and add value to your home. Infinity from Marvin Windows are your best choice. Made with Ultrex fiberglass, 8 times stronger than vinyl, low maintenance and available in many colors. And we leave your home spotless. Schedule your free design consultation by calling Lakeside Renovation and Design at 636-978-5000 or online at lakesiderenovationanddesign.com.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
The features you always dreamed of are here. We're talking about rewinding the radio. Listen on the Odyssey app and rewind whenever you'd like, or catch up on entire shows within 24 hours of air.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
One of the things I think is really important in this case is that the CBO, a nonpartisan organization, Congressional Budget Office, says that 90% of the revenue generated from these new IRS agents will come from people making less than $200,000. That is absolutely the exact opposite of what you just heard. Under $200,000 represents 90% of the revenue generated, and the revenue generated is around $300+ billion. As a former small business owner, Dana, the one thing I cannot do is be the human resource department, my own legal department, and sell whatever it is I'm trying to sell. This is a burden that will be headwinds for job growth and for reinvesting in your small business.
Well, the Inflation Reduction Act continues to develop news stories about how they're coming for you, and your, middle class, Midwestern existence is under attack. And Joe Manchin and Chuck Schumer, they have some answering to do to the American people. Deroy Murdock is calling them out in an article here on the Daily Caller that I'm going to tweet out for you to read. Deroy Murdock, Fox News contributor, friend of the Annie Frey Show. Welcome back.
Annie, how are you? Great to talk to you.
Well, I mean, I'm okay. All things considered, haven't been raided by the FBI, haven't yet been audited by the IRS, but
Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah, no kidding. We live for today and tomorrow. So, Deroy, you're watching the Inflation Reduction Act pass, and you're listening to all the spin. And in the same breath, we're watching the FBI raid the private residence of former President Donald Trump. What do you make of all of this?
Well, it's pretty scary stuff. I mean, what you see overall from today's Democrat Party, this is not the party of Bill Clinton or LBJ or JFK who wanted to charge people some money and help poor people and offer some benefits to the downtrodden, whatever. This is a party that is increasingly totalitarian, increasingly authoritarian. This raid on President Trump's home is unprecedented. This has never happened in our 246-year history. Normally, if some president has some documents somebody wants, you contact the president's office, you contact the president's attorneys, maybe you issue a subpoena. You don't send 30 FBI agents in to pick up 12 boxes. I mean, this is complete overkill. And the FBI used to be very cautious about not going into the offices or homes of their targets, because the mere presence of an FBI agent, when people say, "Oh, Joe's barbershop," they walked in there, well, that guy's up to no good, and they knew that there was a stigma just by the mere presence of FBI agents. Well, that's completely gone. And even if it turns out there's nothing in these boxes that's inappropriate or unusual, people will remember 6 months now, the FBI raided Trump's house, didn't they? Wow, I guess that guy's really up to no good. He's fishy, and the raid itself it tars him, even if it turns out there's nothing there of any value or significance. And I think that was part of the whole point of this thing. And now the IRS wants, under the Inflation Reduction Act, so-called hysterically named bill, if that passes, $80 billion of taxpayer money from people listening to us speak right now is supposed to be used to hire 87,000 new IRS agents, which will increase the payroll at the IRS by about 93%. And you don't need 87,000 IRS agents to audit 700 billionaires. They're going to be looking at people making 100,000, 75,000, 50,000 in order to find a couple coins beneath their pillows and under their sofas to bring into Washington, D.C. so the Democrats will have more money to spend. This is sick, nefarious, and it's just going to create a growth and expansion in one of the ugliest parts of the federal government.
I guess the maybe silver lining here is the Democrats are actually looking for the money before they spend it for once. It hasn't stopped them before. We're speaking with Deroy Murdock, Fox News contributor. The American people have been looking to Joe Manchin to kind of be the cooler head that prevails amongst a very, very polarized group of individuals in Washington, D.C. and in Congress. And he caved on this. Why do you think Joe Manchin gave in this time?
Well, apparently there's some benefit for West Virginia, which is there's supposed to be a vote at some point on allowing some pipeline from Virginia to connect with a pipeline in Virginia, and maybe he thinks that'll be good for West Virginia. If I were Joe Manchin, I would have said, okay, I want the vote on that before we vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, because at any point they could say, look, we don't have time for that vote, or you put it up for a vote, it gets defeated, and where is Joe Manchin going to be? No pipeline, and then we're all saddled with this $739 billion tax and spending bill. So maybe that's it. Even if he does get that pipeline, this seems like a massive, massive, massive price to pay for something which will be of benefit to his state, but not of massive benefit to other states as we reel under the expense of all these new taxes, all this new spending. I imagine maybe to some degree he's been pounded on so much, maybe he thought, well, I need to do something to be a good member of my party and maybe take some of the heat off his back. I mean, he is a human being, and I imagine there's only so much of this kind of thing someone can take before he feels it's time for his knees to buckle.
Deroy Murdock speaking with us right now. I think about the conversation that Joe Manchin has been involved in politically with, people like us here on a talk show. We have 3 hours a day to fill, and Joe Manchin is an easy topic to discuss because he's kind of an enigma in Washington, D.C. He seems to have in the past thought for himself. He represents West Virginia, not the Democratic Party. I hear a lot of people always say, like, if they're talking to me and they know I'm a Republican, Annie, who's your favorite Democrat? The easy answer is to say somebody like Joe Manchin, because you feel like he's the closest thing to a Republican that you can pick from in Washington, D.C. right now. But I think that a lot of people need to take a moment and look at Joe Manchin and ask, could that seat be better used and filled for West Virginia by an actual Republican, not your moderate Democrat that Joe Manchin has been? I mean, is he serving the purpose of a moderate electorate in West Virginia that was like the most pro-Trump state in the union?
I believe the number one state in terms of vote for Trump in 2020 was Wyoming, where I think he won by 67, 68%. And I think, again, I don't have the numbers in front of me. This is just off the top of my head as I vaguely remember. I believe West Virginia was somewhere around 64, 65%. So I think they're the second biggest. They get the silver medal for being the most among the most pro-Trump states. So he's very much out of step with the people of West Virginia, who have moved steadily Republican over the years, and yet he continues to be popular. I guess he's been there a long time and people seem to like him or whatever. Maybe he's personable and has good constituent services or whatever. But I think having an actual Republican as opposed to a diet Democrat would be much, much closer to where the people of West Virginia are today. I think that this bill probably is going to open their eyes, and whatever this pipeline may or may not do, this bill is terrible for the coal industry, which is obviously a huge, huge industry in West Virginia. This whole move of the so-called incredible transition away from fossil fuels to electric vehicles, of which this is a huge part, that's not going to be good for West Virginia in the short term, and even worse in the long term. So I got to think people in West Virginia got to be looking at Joe Manchin saying, what have you done to us? You stabbed us in the back, especially after saying you're going to be the voice of reason in the Senate. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a Republican opponent. I believe he's up for re-election in 2024. I think it's next time around. And if that's the case, and you have either Trump or DeSantis at the top of the ticket, bringing in all sorts of Republicans to support him, it's going to make it a lot easier to sweep out a guy like Joe Manchin if he's on the ballot at that point.
We're speaking with Deroy Murdock, who's a Fox News contributor. I have tweeted out the article that he wrote on the Daily Caller regarding the Inflation Reduction Act. I encourage you to check that out. I am looking at what took place in Mar-a-Lago. President Trump, the potential of him running, the likelihood of him running. I'm hearing from people who I communicate with on this show, and I actually kind of feel it in my gut right now. I feel like DeSantis, I have in the past felt like DeSantis is the cleaner step forward for Republican ideals, the America First agenda, because but DeSantis just comes with less baggage. But watching what they continue to do to Donald Trump makes people like me want to see him get in there and clean house and really recalibrate the American government to be in the position it's supposed to be, serving the people, not ruling the people of the United States of America. What do you think in this past 3-4 days? How have we shifted for the midterms that are coming up, and people's thoughts on how aggressive they want to be in making sure they vote and people around them do as well?
I think what this raid does is, among the Republican base, bolster support for Donald J. Trump for exactly the reasons you said. I'm a big fan of DeSantis. DeSantis has, as you say, less baggage and less, shall we say, eccentricities than Donald J. Trump has. But I think there are a lot of people who think that somebody needs to go into Washington, D.C. and hose that place out from the top of the Capitol Dome to the undersides of the subways of the metro system. That place is filthy. It's a corrupt hellhole. It is full of, as I say, Marxist totalitarians, and somebody needs to go in there and clean that place out. And Trump seems like the kind of guy who, in general, is inclined to do that sort of thing. And after this raid, even more inclined to do that kind of thing. I think DeSantis, going back to the silver medal, I think he gets the silver medal in the hosing out department, if you will. But in that respect, Donald J. Trump is the Michael Phelps. He's the guy with 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 15 gold medals around his neck in that regard. And in terms of taking that city, which is such a mess, and turning it upside down, which it desperately needs, frankly, firing tens of thousands of these deep state bureaucrats and saying, okay, thank you for serving our country, get out of here, and cutting off the money to the left, ending these subsidies to all these woke organizations and faculty, the senates and schools all across the country, et cetera, et cetera. I think Trump is the kind of guy who'd be inclined to do that in a big way. DeSantis would, but I think Trump would do it with an even greater sense of focus and direction. And I think that's going to bolster his support even more strongly among the GOP base.
Fox News contributor Deroy Murdock with us. Last question before we let you go, Deroy. When you're watching, not the every day or even minute details that are coming out on any of these particular stories, you can't imagine what's going to happen next week. But when it gets here, you kind of have to ask yourself, am I really surprised? Am I really shocked that this is where we are now? It seems like we level up every week with something that's a little more shocking, a little more abrasive. How does that end?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I was out last night doing some errands and doing some shopping. I was gone between maybe about 7 o'clock and about 10 o'clock. And I came home after a nice, relaxing time in my neighborhood, and I turned on the TV, and sure enough, what do we have? Raid on Mar-a-Lago. The president's place has been penetrated by FBI agents and so on and so on. I guess that was on Monday night. And I just remember thinking it never stops. I mean, just when you think you have a couple hours of peace and maybe a quiet night till the next day. Nope. 10 o'clock at night, here we are with yet another crisis, another catastrophe, another national, everybody run to the battle stations, if you will. It's tiring. It's exhausting. I remember that Joe Biden was supposed to come into the White House and restore normalcy. Well, I've not seen a lot of normalcy. What with the the high prices, the inflation, the empty store shelves, the baby formula shortage, the tampon shortage, soon to come fertilizer shortage. Look, it's a giant mess. And I think what people really need to learn is to stop voting Democrat. The Democrats are the ones bringing us the chaos, all this divisive action. And putting Republicans back in charge, I think, is what's going to bring us back to normal. Even if it's normal with some unusual personality quirks, it's not going to be normal with empty store shelves and mothers unable to buy baby formula, women unable to buy tampons, and all of us wondering where our money is disappearing to.
Yeah, and we're 90 days from Election Day, and then we got to watch what a lame duck Congress is going to do while they still have those last few weeks to get stuff done. Deroy, we always appreciate covering this with you, and we look forward to talking to you again next week.
Very good, Annie. Talk to you then. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Fox News contributor, member of Project 21, and also wrote that op-ed in the Daily Caller. You can go to @Frey Show on Twitter. I just tweeted it out, and you can read what he had to say about the Manchin-Schumer Inflation Reduction Act. Let's take a quick break. Hogan Gidley is going to be with us when we come back. Looking forward to talking with him about what in the world is going on in Donald Trump world. How does he observe what is taking place as somebody who has been an insider with the Trump organization, the Trump campaign, the Trump administration? Hogan Gidley has been there and is going to give us his perspective when we come back. Don't forget, in the 2 o'clock hour, let's say the second half of the 2 o'clock hour, we're going to be giving away another 4-pack of tickets to see Tyrus wrestle when he is in St. Louis. You can buy tickets at nwatix.com. You can win them on the Annie Frey Show at the second half of the 2 o'clock hour. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show. Here's 97.1 insider Hans von Spakovsky.
The Obamacare case. There was nothing in the Constitution that gives the federal government the power to tell you and me, you have to buy health insurance.
97.1 FM Talk.
Losing weight is a struggle for everybody. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Anytime you get an advantage, an opportunity to have an advantage to lose weight, you want to take it. If it helps you be healthier, if it helps you achieve your goals, I have found something that works for me, and I want you to give it a try as well if you're looking to lose the weight yourself. Slim 180. The website is myslim180.com. And I know now that we talk about this all the time. Money is tight for a lot of people, but I want you to think for a second about your peace of mind, your health, your energy level, your ability to get the things done that you need to get done, and tell you right now, you are worth investing in. And Slim 180 understands money is tight out there these days. They have an offer for you. Buy a nutritional program, get one free. Get a partner to do this with you and lose the weight together. Celebrate the wins together. You will have greater success, and you will be able to work through the Slim 180 plan and achieve your goals with a partner. Buy a nutritional program, get one free. Buy an HCG program, get LipoLean free. This is a limited time offer. It's how I've lost over 22 pounds on the HCG program with Slim 180 in less than a month. I encourage you to check them out as well. All the information online at myslim180.com.
Hello, this is Dave Walker, former Comptroller General of the United States. The federal government has grown dramatically, promised too much, lost control of its budget, and must restructure its finances in order to create a better future.
I agree, Dave. This is Ken Heisey from Heisey Advisory Group, and you're invited to a special event on Thursday, August 25th. Dave and I will talk about our country's financial issues and how they may impact your retirement. Learn why it's critical to take action now and discover strategies that can help protect your future. If you've saved at least $750,000 for retirement, call 314-328-6000 to register for this special event. After a decades-long mission to promote fiscal responsibility at all levels of government, you won't want to miss what Dave has to say. Call 314-328-6000.
Dave Walker is not affiliated with and does not endorse Heisey Advisory Group or AE Wealth Management, LLC. Heisey Advisory Group may not provide tax advice and is not affiliated with the U.S. government. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
If your business has accounting problems, you probably have tax problems. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Running a small business is tough, and it's no surprise that companies that don't keep good books often run into tax issues. If you don't fix your accounting problems, you could be doomed to land in the same tax pitfalls every year. Call the Land Story Law Firm today. I can help you get out of tax trouble and stay out. If your small business doesn't have a CPA or accountant, I can help you find one. And if you already have one, I work closely with them to resolve your tax problems quickly. Make no mistake, if the numbers don't add up, the IRS will catch it. Fix your accounting and tax problems before they snowball with help from the Land Story Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, D-R-U-R-Y law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Sing my share of broken halos, golden wings.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Wherever they go, broken halos.
We're all going to remember being together on this night because this is a night where you are going to remember where you were. Even if this doesn't end up ultimately leading to, where Trump's critics and political opponents, I don't mean in the White House, but I mean Democrats, some Democrats hope it would go. It's still a remarkable moment.
Maggie Haberman puking the quiet part out loud all over the place there, saying, even if this doesn't amount to anything, you're still going to remember where you were because this was sweet, right? And then she says political opponents, and she catches herself. She's like, no, not the ones in the White House. Why would she do that? Oh, because the second impeachment of Donald Trump was over digging up dirt on a political opponent. Remember the Zelensky call with Donald Trump, the perfect call, some might say, and the idea that that was over some suggestion that there might be some nefarious activity between the Biden family and Ukraine? Oh, it's so incestuous. It just makes you want to vomit. But yet here we are. And Donald Trump, here he is with his home ransacked by the FBI, Melania's wardrobe even, which is something that a lot of people are very hung up on, that they went through her closet. What are people in Donald Trump's orbit thinking about this? Well, we're asking our friend Hogan Gidley, who's on with us right now, the director of the Center for Election Integrity. He's also the former national press secretary for the Trump campaign and principal deputy press secretary of the Trump administration. Quite a resume, Hogan. We always love having you on the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for coming back with us.
Thanks so much, Annie. I appreciate the time.
You've got to be sitting there like the rest of the country, and all of a sudden you pop up your television or you get the notification, Donald Trump's private residence raided by the FBI. What were your thoughts?
I wasn't shocked. After all, this is the same FBI that's basically meddled in the last three elections by lying to a FISA court to kind of wiretap and spy on Donald Trump as a private citizen. They went after 2020, the media, by telling them, hey, the Hunter Biden laptop isn't real. And then, of course, and now they're pulling this stunt where they're weaponizing the federal government against a former president of the United States. I'm not shocked. I'm outraged. And the rest of America should be too. This consistent, incessant, irrational, illogical, ravenous desire to somehow destroy Donald Trump is wearing pretty thin for most Americans. And quite frankly, these types of efforts have taken this country to a very dark place. And if the American people weren't paying attention before, I bet you they sure are now, because they understand that these egregious efforts are successful against Donald Trump. We're next. Undoubtedly, they're going to come after you and me. So I was angry about it. I was definitely concerned for the future of our country. I will say, Donald Trump did a good job starting to drain the swamp and did a lot of that. But the swamp is a lot deeper than I think a lot of people realized. And there's some bottom feeders down there. And those folks are concerned that Donald Trump is going to get back into office and take away their livelihoods, their power, their influence. And so they will do anything to prevent that from happening, including raid the man's personal home and go through his wife's closet. And I would imagine a lot of Democrat women, maybe even some of the men, wanted some of Melania's clothes. So that's probably why they went through there, to see if they could snag a pair of boots or a dress or two for themselves. But still, that doesn't make up for the fact that the American people ought to be outraged by this, and rightly so.
I see a lot of people who I talk to who react to on this show to stories like this, who are not necessarily like Trump or die people. They love the president. They want this country to get back on track. If Donald Trump is the pathway forward for that, they're for it. If it's another person who steps in and Trump blesses it, they're for that as well. But what the investigators did, what the FBI did this time, and what the people who are in charge and what the media has done this time, stacked on top of all of the other times. They go through the same playbook every time. They talk about it in the media. They trump up some story. Then they get the law enforcement behind them, behind closed doors. They make it a bigger story. And then if you listen to Maggie Haberman there, she's like, this might not amount to anything, but you'll remember where you are. This is what they do. I think that people are getting to the breaking point where they are feeling the need for revenge for Donald Trump as much as they're feeling the need for this country to get back in the right order.
Yeah, a lot of people emailed me over the night and then also texted me this morning and said, look, I like Trump. I wasn't necessarily all in on him running a second term or a second time. But I got to tell you, I'm looking for my Trump bumper stickers right now because I don't care if they're going to do this to him, they can do it to us. And so I think you're right. It creates a mobilization effect from people on the right, left, and center who are a little bit concerned about what they're seeing out of this weaponization from the FBI. And, you know, I've heard a lot of people say, look, the FBI isn't that stupid. If they had something there, they would only do this if there was something significant. They wouldn't be doing it just for presidential records. There has to be something significant. And I chuckle at that because they've already done all these things before. It's not stupidity on their part or ignorance. It's arrogance. They've gotten so accustomed to going after political opponents and facing no fallout at all, no ramifications, no chance for dismissal, no chance for firing. What does it matter to them? They're untouchable. They're part of the elites. You're not. We know the hypocrisy. We know Hillary Clinton had 30 plus thousand emails. And by the way, it was a unsecure server in her basement. We all know the story, or bathroom, whatever it was. It wasn't that she just had them. They were top secret classified. She also destroyed them. And no one said a word about it. We know about the guy who went into the archives and stuffed things down his pants. Berger, I think his name was. Didn't really have any problems with that either. It's time and time again, the left gets away with things the right can't. And I think people in this country are sick of the double standard. And they're sick of just weaponizing these three-letter agencies to go after American citizens. And one more point I'd like to make as far as the media is concerned here. When did the media all of a sudden just become the champion of these big corporations? They asked no questions during COVID. They're all pro-big pharma. Now they're all pro-White House. Whatever the White House says, they champion. And then these three-letter agencies that no one knows what they do. They operate in the shadows. They just believe all of that. I mean, did you notice that as soon as this happened, within minutes, all of these reporters were able to confirm what was taken from Mar-a-Lago, all these details about a safe being opened, Melania's closet being raided, all of these things. But it took them a year to maybe send out a text, maybe an email or a call to all these same sources and say, hey, is this Hunter Biden laptop real at all? Anything real about this? Anything fishy at all? The double standard there, I think, is just a slap in the face to most Americans. And you're right. They're sick and tired of it, and they can't wait for November.
You know, and it's a slap in the face to every American, because if people feel like they're on the good side, if they like that that's the way that it's going, it's only a matter of time. You talk about since when is the media, the Democratic Party, all for big corporations? I mean, it's a very socialistic MO to be enticing to the little guy because the man's getting you down. And what do socialists want to do? They just want to point out, here's who the man is. Let's take him down. And then they put themselves in government. Now they're the new man. The little guy is always the little guy in this Democratic Party's version of an American utopia. And you're mentioning the Russia collusion story, the Hunter laptop, the impeachments, and the phone call with Zelensky. All of these things happen on the eve of an election. They blow the story up. The media laps it up like a thirsty dog. And what happens? The election takes place and it goes the way that they want to. And then there's some sort of recant down the line that nobody cares about because they got what they wanted out of the story. They got a victory. This seems like we're 90 days from a midterm. Here we go again.
That's exactly right. That's their MO. They're carrying the water for the left. So when these things occur, they really want to champion and push them as best they can. And, it's all done in unison, right? And so when the right is concerned about a raid on Mar-a-Lago, you notice how the media all collectively says, hold on. Let's wait till the facts come out. Let's wait and see what happens. They didn't wait to see the facts come out with Russia. They didn't wait to see the facts come out with Putin or Zelensky or the Lafayette Park incident, the Wuhan lab leak. None of that. They just went all in on attacking the right. I think most people in this country now, not just Republicans, but I think independents and some Democrats are looking at that going, wait a minute, this is clearly a problem with the media. I mean, there's a reason, the people are losing subscriptions at the New York Times. There's a reason that so few people are now watching network news, and the numbers continue to go down in the tank for a lot of cable news stations as well. And it's because the trustworthiness has been eroding for decades. This doesn't help, even though we're talking about a government agency. The coverage of these things are now so overtly one-sided, so overtly agenda-driven. Most people realize when they're watching the news, it's not for information, it's the editorial page. All they get is bias. And so that's why so few people are tuning in.
I wonder what you think about having been working closely with President Trump in campaigns and also in his administration about the reaction of people that are in the Republican Party right now. I'm reading right here that an hour ago, Fox News reported Mitch McConnell said the country deserves a thorough and immediate explanation of what led to the events of Monday. Attorney General Garland and the Department of Justice should already have provided answers to the American people and must do so immediately. How are you looking to the people who have power right now or in positions of access to make these types of statements? What are you expecting from them?
Well, look, I've also seen the comments from the soon-to-be Speaker of the House, for example, McCarthy, saying that, you better make sure you keep your records because we're coming for you in an investigation and hearings. That's fine. But what are you actually going to do about it? Okay. So I understand it took Mitch McConnell a long time to come out and say something here when all he did was a tepid question. That's fine. Ask the question. But in today's society, whether it's over CRT or transing the kids or our election system, it seems like asking a simple question puts you on the outs with social media. Asking a question about COVID data that the CDC itself puts up on his website somehow gets you deplatformed. So just asking questions in this particular, environment is so problematic. But he did what a senator typically does, and that is keeps it down the line, waits for the information to come out. But I am glad he did say we are owed an answer. We need to find out what happened immediately because the American people deserve that. We pay for these agencies through tax dollars. They're supposed to protect us, and they're supposed to be blind as far as the law is concerned and apply it equally to everybody. It's pretty obvious they don't apply it equally to everybody, nor do they care, nor has anyone ever held them to account for not doing so. It's time we do it, whether it be through a Republican Congress, a Republican Senate, or through the next president of the United States. We cannot continue to have our once great institutions continue to lose credibility in this country. There's just no way we can sustain it.
Hogan Gidley with us right now, the director of the Center for Election Integrity, also worked with the Trump campaign and the Trump administration. I've got one final question for you before I let you go. I think that America enjoyed such prosperity under Donald Trump's administration that they became a bit lazy and entitled. People who don't know anything other than the American dream, because they've been born into it, sometimes don't realize what America first means until they've seen in practice America last. That's what we have right now. We potentially have a significant majority coming in the House of Representatives after the November election, maybe a Republican majority in the Senate. What can they do to put us back on the track to America first before we answer that big question coming in 2024?
Well, I don't mean to be self-aggrandizing or self-effacing here, but I work for the America First Policy Institute, and what we do is educate these lawmakers on the policies that made this country so successful, that improved the lives of all Americans, regardless of race, religion, color, or creed. And the juxtaposition, the whiplash effect of where we were just 2 short years ago with record-setting success and record-setting time versus where we are with the, as you put it, America Last policies and the failures that have really just kind of fallen all over us at this point because of Joe Biden's policies. What we have to do as a nation, but also as people in elected office, embrace the policies that really go to prop up American families. Not America alone, but it should most definitely be America first. We need to have reasonable prices for gas and for groceries. We need to be energy independent. We need to close our southern border. We need to have policies that bring down inflation to allow us to spend money in a way that, quite frankly, builds for our futures. We can't do that under Democrat control because, as you put it, they don't want America to succeed. In large part, I would argue, they've been arguing now for years that America's evil, that we're the cause of the world's problems. So we have to have a restoration of America's greatness and America's power, strength, mercy, freedom, and democracy, not just here, but the beacon it is to the rest of the world as well, and stop apologizing for how amazing we really are. But with America Last policies, we're never going to get there. The America First policy, folks out there, they're the ones who are winning these primaries. They're the ones who are going to carry the mantle forward for the next several years.
It's so true, Hogan. The American dream is only possible in an America First country. And the leftist, socialist-driven policies of what we have right now can only be wanted by the American people if they're trying to escape the American nightmare that those very people are trying to sell them in each and every election. And, the America First Policy Institute is key in making sure that there is a unified effort. Even if you have the Republican majority in the House but don't have the White House, you still believe that those America First policies can have some positive effect?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, I think the people are now demanding it. At this point, Lord knows they deserve it. But when you take a look at the landscape out there, it's not just good policy, it's good politics. People need to know that their elected officials are looking out for them and their interests, and not some pie in the sky crazy agendas that aren't ever going to accomplish anything except running your own family's economy into the ground, except making you pay high prices for gas and groceries, as I mentioned, leaving our neighborhoods unsafe with criminals just roaming the streets, not adhering to the rule of law. These are things I think that the American people want. And if Democrats are smart, they try to moderate. And if Republicans are smart in this midterm election, they wouldn't let there be an inch of separation between Joe Biden and these policies, because these office holders, these Senate Democrats and congressional Democrats, they have pushed for all of this. They've allowed for it. They voted for it. It's on them as much as it's on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Hogan Gidley, a pleasure as always. Thank you so much for your time today.
Anytime. Appreciate it.
Sounds great. He's the director of the Center for Election Integrity, and he works for the America First Policy Institute, a great organization for you to look into to see the direction that America First is headed in this country. It is still live and kicking, and you can check it out to see how you can support it. Let's take a quick break. We're going to get to that YouTube live chat poll in the 2:00 hour. We'll get the results, but I need to know your feedback first. Have you voted today? You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and give us a little bit of a review on what you expect from this show and how you feel about where it should be going here, especially in these 90 days as we march steadily towards the midterm elections. Here's the poll. Considering the seriousness of recent news headlines, what do you want from a 3-hour talk show? News and information? Entertaining and fun? Combination of both, or just depends on the day? Annie Frey YouTube live chat is where that poll is. You can provide your feedback in the comments if you so choose. Hannah will update us at 2:45. In that 2:00 hour also, Tyrus tickets giveaway coming up next hour. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. The Mark Reardon Show.
We have Kenny Wallace on the phone. Your brother played a big role in sort of kicking things off, didn't he?
Yes. As we say in racing, Rusty dropped the green flag to start Sturgis this year.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Lakeside Renovation and Design online at lakesiderenovationanddesign.com. They offer custom siding windows, a full service exterior and interior remodeling solution for your needs, your dreams, for your home. What's the project that has been itching for you to finish in your house? Reach out to Lakeside Renovation and Design. You can talk to them about financing opportunities, 0% financing opportunities. You can talk to them about ideas that you have, and maybe you're not sure how to implement them. You can see different projects that they have as well. But also, get this, they have a beautiful showroom that you can go walk into and touch and feel some of those options that you may want to see take place in your home. Interior remodeling, exterior remodeling, Lakeside Renovation and Design is the go-to place in St. Louis to get the best service, the best finished product, great reviews, and the want and the desire to use them for your very next project as well. Find out what you need to know online at lakesidерenovationanddesign.com.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for another Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Thursday, August 11th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online at retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and concerned how all the market volatility is hurting your retirement accounts? Would you like to know why our clients have not lost a penny with all the market losses this year? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can now roll over your 401k tax-free to protect your nest egg and still generate more income than most investment options? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Thursday, August 11th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Call 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-782-8000 or at chrisbuysHomesstlouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay their rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. And check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And get the offer you have been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in stlouis.com. Chris Buys Homes in stlouis.com or call 314-782-8000.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AAMCO.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
We'd walk to church on Sunday morning, race barefoot back to Johnson's fence. That's where I first saw Mary, on that roadside picking blackberries. That summer I turned a corner in my soul down that red dirt road.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We appreciate you being with us this afternoon. had a pretty busy show so far. Jamie Lissow was on with us. We've never had him on the show before, so it's exciting to welcome Jamie on with us at about 12:25. And if you missed it, first of all, if you don't know who Jamie Lissow is, you might know him and not realize you know him because he's on the Gutfeld Show. I think he's probably on at least weekly, maybe a couple times a week. And he's a comedian. And he's going to be at the streets of St. Charles, the Funny Bone there. And this weekend, I'd encourage you to go get tickets. I find him to be hilarious. And he joined us at 12:25. You can listen to the interview if you're on the Odyssey app. You can just rewind to 12:25 and key into that and hear that. Deroy Murdock at 1:00. And we just got done talking to Hogan Gidley as well, who was talking about his reaction. Somebody who is in Donald Trump's, he was the campaign press secretary for his 2020 election. And then also he was a deputy press secretary during the Trump administration. What was it like for Hogan Gidley to see the raid on Mar-a-Lago? And what you hear him say is kind of interesting. He wasn't surprised. I think a lot of Americans have reached that point where I had somebody tell me last night, we were at the Darren Bailey event last night in Belleville at the Weingarten, and somebody was talking to me about listening to the show, and they said, you know, when I saw that happen and I tuned in and that was on the news, that they laughed. And, you know, it's not one of those funny laughs. It's not like something that you see and you're like, oh, that's hilarious. You laugh because, you know, it's that or cry, basically. You see it and you go, well, of course. I guess this is the natural progression in how this is going to go, which is why I keep asking the question, what in the world happens next? What will we be covering on this show next week? I bristle at the thought of where this heads, and I bristle at the thought of how America reacts. If Americans don't feel like we live in a system that treats people fairly under the law, we've lost ourselves. And I think about how the Democratic Party right now is in a position to have a Democrat majority in the House, a Democrat majority in the Senate, and the Oval Office, none of which they've been given by mandate. None of those circumstances show the Democrats with an overwhelming amount of support from voters saying, yes, send all the Democrats to the House of Representatives, fill the Senate with Democrats, and a demonstrative win for Joe Biden in 2020. I mean, the vote totals are the vote totals. Donald Trump increased his support from 2016 to 2020 in the face of unbelievable circumstances. A 90+ percentile negative coverage rate from the mainstream media. 2 impeachments that were manifested by the fantasies of leftists who know that they can't beat them the old-fashioned way. So they come up with impeachments and they come up with stories and they hire people to write dossiers and they overly criticize a phone call and accuse Donald Trump of doing of having this phone call with President Zelensky just because he's looking to dig up dirt on a political opponent. I mean, you sit there and you look to your left and you look to your right and you're just waiting for someone to explain to you the part that you're missing. I think the phrase on the internet is make it make sense. And the sense of it is the deck is stacked. When the media is going to slurp up whatever opportunity they can to satisfy the unquenchable thirst to eliminate Donald Trump. It's funny because it's the dog that catches the car. Once they've done it, once he's not in office anymore, what happens? Nobody watches their shows. Nobody takes in their networks. People don't care because they made such a big deal out of Donald Trump that when they beat him, they lost. It's ironic, isn't it? They need Trump so bad in order to succeed, they got to put him back in the news once again. And clearly, he has such an enormous amount of influence. He has, I mean, think about the messaging tool and the way that information is exchanged between individuals, between groups, between global communities. Think about the way we exchange information. It's on social media. We have conversations, mostly arguments, maybe a few moderate disagreements in the midst of those, but we have the national conversation now on social media. They've eliminated him from there. And in doing so, they made an albatross out of the man that they want to go away. At least that's what they tell you. But ironically, they need him almost as much as the country does. That's the real irony here. If you think that the country needs to move in a direction away from Donald Trump, I want to ask you what you mean by that. Most people would say they want to move away from his hatefulness, his divisiveness, the way he approaches things. And I got to tell you, there is no difference between those things, which at times Donald Trump is the embodiment of, and everybody who is going toe-to-toe with him, sucker punching him from the other side of the line. They made this Frankenstein. They put him together. They created this monster that they now cannot contain. They had the system and the scale set in the 2015-2016 GOP primary. They had the system laid out to plan. The Democrats would define Republicans as these holier-than-thou Christian hypocrites who eventually fall. Guess what? Because that's what humans do. Eventually find the thing that makes them just like the rest of us. And while the Democrats don't have to play by the same rules, the Republican, the reason you don't like them is because they're a hypocrite, because they think they're better than you and they're not. And we will tell you why, so you should vote for us. That's the game. That's the Democrat game. Donald Trump came on the scene and said, yeah, this is who I am, but I can still make this country better. And they lobbed all of their normal attacks, and it just bounced off of him like rubber. None of the barbs stick to Donald Trump because he doesn't allow them to. Where every other Republican, stuffy Republican from the old GOP wants to present the perfect, cornfield, John Deere tractor in the background, golden retriever family of happily married family with 2.5 kids. This is who I am. Donald Trump never did that. He said, I'm filthy rich. I know how to use the tax system to my advantage. I have made lots of money in my time, and I think I could be a really, really fantastic president, so I think I will. And he did. And they turned inside out over it, and they haven't been able to put themselves back together since. And they think that getting rid of Donald Trump is going to make them better. Dude, you did. You're obsessed. You can't get over it. And I think that you just lit the fuse this week to bring him back bigger and badder than ever. It's unbelievable. 2:00 hour right around the corner on the Annie Frey Show. We're going to give away some Tyrus tickets coming up, so stick around for that. Ryan Wiggins back in studio. We'll talk with Hannah and Brad as well. Don't go anywhere.
Shackled up GTO.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Have you been suffering with foot pain, knee pain, low back pain, or plantar fasciitis? Maybe you've tried all kinds of remedies with no relief.
It was terrible. I was in tears a lot. It hurt that bad. For 2 years, I was watching these commercials thinking, this can't be real. You're never going to find out if you don't try. So my legs and my feet do not hurt like they did before Good Feet.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn's.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional. Lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues. 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
New numbers on the economy. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. The nation's inflation was flat last month, but remains at near 40-year highs.
Consumer prices are up 8.5% from a year ago, but the consumer price index was unchanged between June and July.
And we're seeing some signs that inflation may be beginning to moderate.
President Biden noted the latest CPI report at a bill signing here at the White House.
That we could face additional headwinds in the months ahead. Our work is far from over.
The Federal Reserve has been raising key interest rates in an attempt to slow down the economy and cool inflation.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. President Biden today signing into law a bill expanding healthcare to veterans exposed to toxic chemicals in Iraq and Afghanistan.
We have many obligations, only one truly sacred obligation: to equip those we send into harm's way and to care for them and their families when they come home.
The bill enhances healthcare screenings for potential toxic exposures and extends the period of time veterans have to enroll in VA care post-discharge. Former President Trump says he invoked his Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination and refused to answer questions under oath today in a New York investigation into his business.
About an hour after he arrived at New York State Attorney General Letitia James's office, he released a statement saying that he had, quote, declined to answer the questions under the rights and privileges afforded to every citizen under the U.S. Constitution. The deposition is part of a civil investigation into the Trump Organization over the value of business assets like buildings and golf courses, among other things. It comes just days after FBI agents searched his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida as part of an unrelated federal investigation into whether he took classified records when he left the White House.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. A rally continuing on Wall Street, all three major indexes higher with just under an hour left in trading. America's listening to Fox News.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Just have to call it nice this afternoon. 83 degrees, dropping humidity, partly to mostly sunny skies. Tonight, clear, cool, comfortable. Upper 70s this evening, 62 for the overnight low. Thursday, partly sunny skies, maybe a spot storm, another weak front moving in. Ahead of that front, we should jump to about 88, but Friday and Saturday, partly sunny and 80, 85 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's happening right here, right now.
A source says the FBI agents brought a safe cracker to get into what's described as a relatively new safe.
This is improper, and it is
misconduct, and we have to find out what the facts are.
They were not being judicious about what they took.
These people are committed to doing whatever it takes, including destroying the Constitution, in order to retain power. And that's going to be a major issue between now and the election this fall.
This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Look, everybody's looking for a leg up in this car market right now. Well, for listening to 97.1, consider this yours. Genesis of St. Charles is the best kept secret in St. Louis, partially because nobody really knows what a Genesis is yet. It's a very new line. It's a luxury line within the Hyundai family. And so if you're looking for a luxury vehicle, my gosh, you're not going to get a better deal than with Genesis of St. Charles within the St. Charles Automotive Campus. And I say that because I've talked with them. They're charging MSRP, and a little inside baseball here. Not many dealerships are right now. They know they can raise it by $10,000, $15,000 above MSRP. So I'm telling you, consider them. Visit them online if you just want to browse and see what they're all about. GenesisofStCharles.com. If you want to visit their showroom, they're under construction. So you're not even going to see the sign. That's one of the reasons they have me telling you about it. But just look for them. They're within St. Charles Hyundai off of Veterans Memorial Parkway, about a quarter mile east of Mid Rivers Mall. Easy to get to, easy to find. And once you sit in one, you're going to want one. Genesis of St. Charles, GenesisofStCharles.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Have you been suffering with foot pain, knee pain, low back pain, or plantar fasciitis? Maybe you've tried all kinds of remedies with no relief.
It was terrible. I was in tears a lot. It hurt that bad. For 2 years, I was watching these commercials thinking, this can't be real. You know, you're never going to find out if you don't try. So my legs and my feet do not hurt like they did before Good Feet.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
2022 is zipping by quickly, and if you haven't taken care of that big exterior painting job for your home or business, CertaPro Painters can help. I've depended on CertaPro for all my painting needs for more than a decade now. They talk about something called the power of pro. That's the power of timeliness, the power of doing it right, the power of minimal disruption. They work to make sure it's a smooth project from start to finish. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, the power of pro. Check out CertaPro.com today.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Keeping you connected and aware.
In the world, the country, and the community.
And offering more ways than ever to listen conveniently. Tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk or download the Odyssey app.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
In fact, this is less and less about Trump now because the infection has so fully moved inside the bloodstream of the party. Trump is not the animating character any longer. And so to the point.
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say, just to the point, assume that it's all dangerous, that they're all dangerous until proven otherwise. Because what else do you have to go on?
Republicans should be assumed as dangerous until proven otherwise. Sounds Like,
sounds like justice.
it sounds bad. It's not a good hot take.
I mean, that's
It's a
where
little
we're
too
at.
hot.
That's where we're at now, right? I mean, you start a commission, you just go through with it. There's no cross-examination. You just do whatever you want. You don't have to do justice.
I know you're
It's very
wondering
clear
what Eric Swalwell
that
has to say.
Republicans have recognized that they can no longer win elections with votes, and so they're leaning in hard to try and win elections with violence, and they're fomenting that violence right now with the threats they're making against the Attorney General, with the online chatter that you continue to see, with the failure to even condemn it on their side. And I see it in my own social media channels where the threats have escalated since Donald Trump's residence was searched. And this is who they are now. They are a chaos party.
They can't win elections through votes.
I just want to go home.
Now,
I just want to quit because it's so easy and necessary to point out, and it just gets very exhausting day after day to listen to Eric Swalwell talk about how that I mean, who's sending whom into the private residence of Donald Trump? Is that
it's on?
Is that the only way that they could have gotten what they needed from Donald Trump? That's a loaded question. What did they need?
We don't know the answer to that. Nobody's telling us. They won't release the warrant.
The point is that they won't tell you because if they inform you, Ryan, of what they need, it might be illegal. The idea that they're going in indiscriminately, taking 12 boxes or so from the Trump residence. And from what I understand, I guess a standard operating procedure to not like thumb through everything, but you do photograph what you're taking. They told the lawyers they weren't allowed to go in and supervise the Trump lawyers. They couldn't supervise this when it was going on. And they told them they needed to turn their camera systems off. And they were like, yeah, we're not doing that. So they left them on. What? There are so many different ways that this could go. And the longer they wait to tell you their purpose there, the more ideas I come up of how this goes sideways real fast. Sideways for maybe the Trump family, sideways maybe for the Republican Party, sideways maybe for, I don't know, the country, but maybe the plan all along for the Democrats who are in charge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was never under the impression that the FBI or the DOJ were going to come out and say, this is what we were doing. I was always under the impression that they were going to tell us what they wanted us to hear. And now, because of the blowback on this, I don't know that we'll ever really find out what they were doing.
You know, Anna Navarro was named as the conservative voice being added to The View. Michael Steele, who is the first clip there, is the former RNC chair. In my lifetime, he was in charge of the Republican Party.
In fact, this is less and less about Trump now because the infection has so fully moved inside the bloodstream of the party. Trump is not the animating character any longer. And so to the point.
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say just to the point. Assume that it's all dangerous. That they're all dangerous until proven otherwise. Because what else do you have to go on?
Holy sugar. Like
assume
to consume in bits and pieces what it is that the former person in charge of the RNC is saying to be assumed about Republicans on MSNBC, I might add. We are in very, very dangerous territory.
Yeah, you want to know why nothing ever got done for the last 3 decades? Because those guys were leading the party. They were supposed to be the ones that were the check and balance.
Nothing ever got done with the Republican Party because plenty has been done.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have moved leftward very quickly and moved toward basically totalitarian government, more and more and more unelected bureaucratic government. But these guys just played ball for so long, and they were just in it for Probably themselves, the country clubs. I mean, those are the people that have been running this party, and some still are. Although, like he said, it's getting into the bloodstream now, and I think that is the most fantastic thing I've heard all day.
It's ironic because I started the show talking about how TDS is really a brain tumor that I think and eventually ends up being like a metastasized death sentence for the Democratic Party. Weird. Also, on a side note, I noticed that the DOJ has charged some Iranian national with trying to kill John Bolton. And I saw that news headline on my note. This is not funny. The notification come across my phone about 45 minutes ago. And it wasn't until now that I realized it was John Bolton and not Michael Bolton.
Oh, man.
I'm like, what did he do? What did he get in trouble for?
Was he the one who recently had the Valentine's Day special on Netflix?
Probably.
Michael Bolton.
He should.
Yeah, Michael Bolton's big, sexy Valentine's Day special.
That's what he did.
From 2017.
Really
never
take the
watched
Iranians off.
It feels as if Ron Burgundy, and it was produced by, I think, some of Will Ferrell's team, wrote a Valentine's special starring Michael Bolton.
That sounds fun.
It's pretty fun. It is.
Most underrated instrument in music, saxophone.
Ooh, really?
I think so. You get a good song with a good saxophone line and it feels different.
Well put.
The Iranians sure think so.
I'm gonna go with ukulele here. Ukulele.
I love you.
Lock it in.
Do you know I can play the ukulele?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Bring it in.
What's making noise?
I don't know. I hear a lot. It's like there's a coffee brewer in here.
It's my Ring doorbell.
Oh.
Somebody was in my
Somebody's
doorstep.
at your door.
Not anymore.
Put it on the live stream.
I took care of them.
Let's talk to him through the Ring doorbell.
I seriously contemplate. I saw that notification. If a Fox News notification comes on my phone during the show, I check it to see, like, is this something I need to stop what I'm doing and redirect? And I didn't think Michael Bolton was worth it.
you thought an Iranian national, like, possible terrorist.
I'm just gonna say
sought to kill Michael Bolton.
It didn't make sense to me at the time. And I was deep in conversation with Hogan Gidley and it was going well. And I thought Michael Bolton can wait.
I hate Western culture so much. Who should I take out who represents all of Western culture?
He has short hair now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's a beautiful man.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
Yes.
Annie.
Totally. Because, you know, in my mind, does Michael Bolton still have long, flowing, curly hair to you?
No. Oh, I've seen the special. I've seen the Valentine's Day special. He sits on a big red couch for most of it.
Sit on a throne of lies.
And he whispers poetry and stuff. It's so bizarre. It's very funny.
I'm going to take a moment and watch that, I think.
Please do.
I'm really happy for Michael Bolton today.
Yeah. Yeah. That was I think the peak of his career, to be completely honest with you.
I don't know, the stuff he did with Lonely Island was pretty good too.
I think that's how all of this
So
spawned.
is Michael Bolton a funny person?
I think he gets that he's a joke and is in on it. But he's not funny.
He's not a joke, but he gets who he is.
He gets his persona when a man loves a woman.
He's a saxophone playing.
He's the sexy guy.
He sings When a Man Loves a Woman? No, he doesn't. Bryan Adams does.
When a Man Loves a Woman, song by Michael Bolton.
Really?
Looking at it right now. To love somebody, a love so beautiful. How can we be lovers?
Do they both sing it?
I don't know.
Oh man, look. See, yeah, his hair is flowy in this When a Man Loves a Woman. Okay.
Put a man like that in front of a fan and I'm watching it.
Seriously. Fourth time I've wanted to quit today.
But regardless, you got to watch it because it is one of the strangest things.
If I walk out of the
produced.
studio right now, what are you boys going to do? Like what happens for the rest of the show? Where do you directly take this?
Well, right now we probably go to break.
Maybe people can weigh in online if they'd like to see that.
But if you were to leave and we'd realize in about 5 minutes, oh, she actually left.
She's gone.
She didn't just walk out of the studio, which would have been
so
weird.
Excited for Michael Bolton. She needed to take a day.
Yeah. We would have been talking about
what's your direct go-to right now?
Okay. There's a clip from earlier this week, and you may have it in one of your folders. So if I say it and you're like, oh, I know where that's at, you can pull it up. It is Joe Biden.
Thank you for the permission.
Yeah. Well, I think it's yours because I was looking through clips for X's and O's.
You listen to other shows?
Yes, all the time.
Unbelievable.
They're great. I mean, comparatively. Wow.
Fifth time today.
Joe Biden earlier this week said Joe explained inflation and said, and I may have to change. I was looking for this for the game show. He says, let me explain inflation. Some products went up. Some products, though, they went down. And you know what that causes? Zero. Inflation for July is zero. That's what he says. And I'm looking at a headline right now because I thought, well, maybe he got numbers a little early or something ahead of the rest of us.
Before I begin today, I want to say a word about the news that came out today relative to the economy.
This is it.
Actually, I just want to say a number.
Me too.
Zero.
I bet he does.
Today, we received news that our economy had 0% inflation in the month of July. 0%. Here's what that means. Well, the price of some things went up last month. The price of other things went down by the same amount. The result, zero inflation last month. The people were still hurting, but zero inflation last month.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where I would go. I would say, let's play that clip. And then I would read this headline. Inflation climbed by 8.5% in July. Oh, okay. So Joe maybe he didn't get numbers ahead of time and just started making things up, because that clip is not him misspeaking. He's very clear. There was no inflation. Zero. The number zero in July.
Isn't the real question here, did he come up with that all by himself?
I don't know.
Or was somebody trying to calm him down and they're like, see, Joe, you know how this works and everything's fine. We don't need you to talk about inflation at all. It's zero. Don't even mention it. Don't even
Here's
say
your
anything
cards.
when you go out there. We're not going to talk about it because there's no problem. There's literally zero problem. We just won't even bring it up when we talk. If people ask you questions, there's no even need to mention the story about inflation. And then he explains what
he walks out.
person tells him.
I just got a briefing. I want everybody to know there actually is no FBI. That's a FIB. That's a fib. Just want you to know that. Never happens to zero. Non-existent agency. Jill, they tell me I'm supposed to go over here now.
You see what I did there? I'm going to walk out now and quit, but I just made you do your story.
Yeah. Thank you.
You want to tease what we're talking about next?
No, I have nothing.
It's really important.
I had one thing teed up,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
Then what?
Nothing. We're going to come on here and do a burping contest.
Oh my gosh. Fine, I'll stay.
Okay.
Fine. I will stay. We'll be back with maybe some to give away here.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not.
Can I pick the number?
You can pick the prize.
Yay!
We're giving Ryan away. We'll be back in just a minute.
Talk about things that nobody cares.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow.
I gotta make clear. I can't say, baby, where I'll be in a year.
More than ever, this is where St. Louis is coming to talk. Computer, smart speaker, radio, phone. People are gathering here. Thanks for listening and staying connected. 97.1 FM Talk.
Shopping for flooring is one of those weird things that's exciting when you're an adult and you get to go do the look and the feel of what you're going to put in your house. It's not fun to talk about with people if they're not buying the flooring. It becomes incredibly exciting when you think about transforming your home with a new product that's going to change the way it looks and feels and make you feel better about being in your home. Michael's Flooring Outlet is there to make that process even more enjoyable because they have the best customer sales staff around when it comes to making your flooring purchase. It could be for commercial purposes too. If your place of business is looking to spruce things up or replace some dingy carpet with some Mohawk Smart Strand carpet, or it's with maybe from carpet to something like a luxury vinyl plank, go to Michael's Flooring Outlet and get guided by the best in the business, a local business, I might add. The people at Michael's Flooring Outlet, they're your neighbors from right here, of course, and a homegrown business that has stood the test of time with great value and quality products. All of the information that you're looking for, their 3 locations, the hours, the in-stock inventory, it's all available on their website. Check them out at igotfloored.com.
You know those headlines that make you stop scrolling and actually read an article? I'm Mike Rogers. Those are the kinds of stories I'm diving into on my podcast, Something Offbeat, like the caterpillar infestation in Maine that had us rethinking our relationship with insects.
We were talking about a time 300 million years ago, if you can imagine. There was a dragonfly. It had a 2-foot wingspan.
Just search for Something Offbeat in the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low fixed rates.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, short my blues.
NMLS 114937.
The following is a commercial announcement.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Nobody wants to miss the important things in life, and if it's because of bad vision, you don't have to. Mark Cox here from my friends at Brenton Vision. They can help you out. That's why I want you to take 2 minutes today to call my friends at Brenton at 314-375-2020 or go online to BrentonVision.com. Your eyes are as unique as your fingerprint. Since Brenton Vision is the only place in Missouri offering all 7 forms of modern vision correction, they can create a customized treatment plan just for your vision. They helped my wife out. She chose the lens replacement therapy and now sees better than ever, and she loves it. You can have that same experience with Brenton Vision. They accept flex plans and medical spending plans as well at Brenton. So don't let that money expire or go to waste. See your best. Do what we did. Call Brenton Vision at 314-375-2020 or schedule online right now at BrentonVision.com.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
.com.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your blind tie affair. The last
This
one
is
to
the
know,
Annie Frey Show.
The last one to show I was the last
Follow
one
Annie
you
on Twitter
thought you'd
at
see
Annie Frey
there.
Show.
And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. I toasted you, said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain, 'cause I got friends.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Glad that you were here with us this afternoon. Reminder, you can buy tickets to see Jamie Lissow if you go to stlouisfunnybone.com. He is in town this weekend starting Thursday through Saturday. Very funny comedian. And if you know who I'm talking about, we had him on the show at 12:25. Go listen to an interview. It was fun. It was fun talking to him. But he's a Gutfeld regular. He's a comedian and in town. Very funny. Check him out. Also, you can buy tickets to see Tyrus wrestle when he comes to St. Louis. NWATix.com. You can purchase tickets and stick around because we're going to have an opportunity for you to win tickets here in a little bit. So we don't want you to go anywhere for that. Here's a question for you. Got Hannah in here now. Brad and Ryan as well. They stuck around, as did I. So high fives all around.
Mm-hmm.
Still got 30 minutes left of this show to do. You guys ever go to Toys R Us when you were a kid?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I loved Toys R Us.
So you did? I was
Yes.
wondering, Hannah, if you missed out on the Toys R Us
Oh
boat.
no, Jeffrey the giraffe. I remember him. I love Toys R Us.
Ryan, can you sing the song?
Man.
I don't
want to grow up.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with, from bikes and games to video games. Not games and games don't rhyme. There's a million
bikes and chains.
Bikes and chains to video games.
I made that up.
It's a million. There is.
I don't want to grow up because if I did,
I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
I don't want to grow up. Don't want to grow up.
There was different versions.
Mhm.
That was one of them.
That was the Illinois version.
And then there was the Central Missouri version.
That was the Eastern version.
More games, more toys. Oh boy, I want to be a Toys R Us kid.
Wow. They are coming back, but I think they just heard that and changed their mind.
They are coming back?
What? In Macy's.
Oh, wow.
Good, because maybe they'll honor my gift card. Because when they declared bankruptcy, they're like, no, we don't take those anymore.
Did
And I'm
you
like,
keep
oh
it?
yeah, because I'm going to sue you.
Do you
They're
still-
like, go ahead. We're not even a company anymore.
Do you need a minute?
Yeah.
Go on.
Wow.
Get it out.
I don't like when companies do that.
Why'd
You
your
gotta
voice
give-
crack?
Because I'm mad.
I'm mad.
When companies declare bankruptcy, apparently they don't accept gift cards anymore.
What for? What would they accept the gift card for?
It's money you paid them to pay you later. I mean, that's the whole point of the gift card.
Why didn't you use it?
I tried to, but they said no. We declared bankruptcy. We won't accept gift cards.
So they were still in business.
Yes.
And you
They
went in
wouldn't
with your
take
gift
it.
card?
Yes.
You should have sued them.
They don't care. They know they're going to get sued, and they're like, we're not
They're
even
like,
a company.
You can sue us.
Yeah,
We don't got anything.
exactly.
Well, now this is interesting because
So I got a free soda and I ran out of there.
Toys are. You won't beat me. Toys R Us, the beloved children's toy store, is officially back inside Macy's locations in 9 states, with more coming soon. The retailer did a Christmas and July type announcement saying all locations will be complete by October 15th, just in time for holiday
Nice.
shopping season. So this is something that Disney stores did as well. Like, we used to have a Disney store in the Galleria. There were a couple in some of the shopping centers that we had around here, and they closed all those stores down, and then they partnered with Target. So they put their inventory inside Target. So they have basically a Disney outlet within in a certain department in Target. Macy's is now doing this with Toys R Us.
Macy's is surprising to me that they would. I would think Target they would put a Toys R Us in.
I thought you were going to say that they would stoop that low. Macy's.
Macy's
How
probably
low will they go?
Macy's probably needs a little help too.
Yeah, you're
was
right.
it World Market was in Bed Bath & Beyond for a long time, weren't they? So this is a common thing.
Why did somebody say while you were gone and we were openly on the air saying, "Where is Ryan anyway?" Someone said you were at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh yeah.
And I go, he would be. They have coupons.
Yeah, they do. 20% off or $5 off of 15 sometimes. Those are better percentage-wise.
Gift cards?
No. That really made me mad. I thought, what a joke that is.
Current locations are in California, Georgia, New Jersey, Illinois, Nevada, Louisiana, New York, Maryland, and Missouri, according to the Macy's website. And it says that larger locations dubbed flagship locations will be in Atlanta, Chicago, Honolulu, Houston, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, and San Francisco. Would you, if you're walking through Macy's, when was the last time you walked through Macy's?
Probably a couple weeks ago.
For real?
No.
Brad, last time you
Trying
were
to
in
be
a mall
relevant.
department store?
A mall department store. Oh man.
I don't remember
Like
the last time I was
6
in.
months ago.
I was
Oh,
there
sooner.
Saturday.
Was this when you were looking? Oh, no, you went to Kohl's to get your dress for the Eric Schmidt.
Yes, I did. And I found one in 5 minutes.
It was fantastic. It was
It
a
was
pretty
great.
dress. I would love not the Toys R Us experience, but the Babies R Us experience.
Oh.
There was
Do they have Babies R Us still?
No, it went the way of Toys
Yeah,
R Us.
ours is a
Oh.
pot store now.
Yeah, I was
It
gonna say
is
Yeah.
in Fairview Heights.
they turned the Toys R Us into a gym and the Babies R Us into an Ascend.
Mm-hmm.
Dispensary, which is so
That
sad.
took a turn.
When when I had babies, I guess Evelyn, I don't know when they went out of business officially. I feel like we went there once or twice for Evelyn, but maybe not. She's 6. But if you're having a baby and you don't know what you're doing, which was the case for definitely the first one, and you kind of learn a few lessons, but you continue to learn lessons and new things are developed over the like you
yeah.
go from one kid and you're like, where has this been the whole freaking time? You walk through Babies R Us and it's like going to a museum or like a zoo. You just walk around and you look at these things that you've never really had or touched or felt
Mhm.
before, and you just take it in. And they got to pump some kind of oxygen in there that makes, I don't know, it just was like
Mm-hmm.
major serotonin for me.
I remember walking through there. Yeah, I can't remember if it was the twins or the single, but we went through there and was
The single.
they had those little baby, they rock back and forth.
A rocker?
Is that what they're called? Just rockers?
Depends on what you just got describing.
But they have
many
the ones that
things
just
that
kind of go
rock.
back and forth. They have the swings that go,
A swing.
yeah, forward and back. Well, then they had these other ones that looked like little pods.
The Mamaroos.
Yes.
Is that what those are called?
I had one of those for Molly. It was like the only
Those
thing.
are expensive.
I know, and I borrowed one from my sister-in-law. It was like the only thing that I wanted for the fourth baby. And I'm going to tell you what, when you get to number 4, you're like, we need 4 outfits, 3 bottles. I gave myself a baby shower, diaper shower, and on Target, I registered online, did a baby registry on Target, but made it private and didn't tell anybody about it because you get 15% off everything on your registry.
Oh.
One time in the store, one time online. And I ordered 3 large boxes, or maybe 4, of every size diaper up to, I think, size 5. And it wasn't until about a month ago that we had to go out and buy a box of diapers for Molly.
Should have done that with baby formula.
Well, we did buy a couple cans of baby formula, but you never know like what the baby is gonna want and what they're gonna. But you get to save 15% on. He's not common to be able to save that much money on a box of diapers.
So you got one of those things with that discount?
So I was going to, and then my sister-in-law was like, "Oh, I have one," but they're so crazy.
They are.
They're futuristic.
There's no rhyme or reason to the way they move. So I thought either that is genius.
It's supposed
or the
to
baby's
mimic.
gonna hate it.
It's supposed to mimic the way the baby is in utero, and the way a mom would move. If you're walking and you're in utero, there's not a necessary rhyme or reason to it.
It looks like it would mimic the way that you would send a child to Krypton if Earth were exploding.
Well, when the going gets rough, you put them in there and you hope for the best.
Wait a minute, this doesn't leave Earth at all.
Last night, Molly was. I didn't go to sleep till after 4:00 last night, and bad. I need to get the sleep thing under control, but I would get close to going to sleep, and then Molly would squawk or something, and usually Jared gets up, and I was awake, so I went. And I'm a sucker. Like, this is why I don't do it, because I'm like, oh, come here, let me hold you. And Jared lays on the floor, doesn't necessarily, like, you're not supposed to touch the baby. You're supposed to talk to him and say, lay down. I'm in here, stop crying. And she will. She'll lay. I watch him on the monitor from the bedroom and watch him take care of it. And I go in there and I'm like, oh, she's so cute. And I want to hold her. So I do, which is bad. So I'm not allowed to go in there. But last night I was still awake. So I went in there and I held her for a while and I was singing to her, and she's big enough now. And you can tell she's saying a lot of words. You don't necessarily know what they are, but you know she's doing it. Mm-hmm. Something like she is communicating, and it's your job to figure out what she's saying and how she's doing it. But she's very purposeful. She's about 14 months old. Oh, today, actually. Very purposeful in how she behaves. And I picked her up and she just gives the tightest squeeze hugs around your neck. Like she grabs a hold of you, and when you're rocking her and singing to her, you're just kind of wait for that hug to kind of release because she's falling asleep. She never did. And I was all about it. So she wasn't going to sleep. So I eventually brought her back into the bedroom, and I laid her down between Jared and me, and I wasn't tired at all because normally we don't let her sleep with us. And I turned on some lullabies on my phone. And she was in this kind of sleepy stupor.
She fights sleep.
Yes. She's in this sleepy stupor, and she sees Jared. So she goes to Jared because Jared's always the one who puts her back to sleep. And she crawls over there. And then she just would flop over to the other side and she'd crawl up on me. And then she was laying there for probably 5 minutes. And all of a sudden she just stood up in the bed, like with great ambition, and pointed at the dog sleeping on the floor and goes, woof, like really loud. Jared's like, I'm taking her downstairs. Like, all right, fine. Sorry. I tried. I don't think he really looks at that as trying. More like a disturbance in the normal routine of things. I tried. I really did. You get all those contraptions that when you go out and you look at baby stuff that with the next kid that comes along, and they have these things that are brand new, and you're like, this is a game changer, and you buy it and then you use it for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then the baby's too big for it.
Yeah.
And you paid $250 for it.
But it was just like a lottery ticket. It was hope.
It was hope.
You bought it with the hope that it might change
And
things.
you had twins. So if you had something like that for twins and it lasted for 2 months, it was really like the equivalent of 4 months. Anything. You do anything.
It doesn't matter. We use baby Merlin sleep suits until they were probably 6.
And then you used them.
And then I'm wearing them now. I sewed a couple together, one on each leg. Those things are great, man.
Comforting.
They hold you out. They hold your baby out like a starfish. So they can't.
Are they weighted?
No, not really. They can still touch their face and stuff, but then it just puts it back. So they're like, oh, blah, 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 and then they're just right back. So they realize at some point, it's easier to just go to sleep like this.
What's it called?
Baby Merlin sleep suit. And I took my single in there once, walked around there for about 20 minutes and realized this is a marijuana store. Just kidding.
You're talking about into non-babies are us.
Yeah.
Not the sleep
Wait
suit.
a minute.
Not.
I see what you've done here.
They should get you one of those sleep suits that's like for grown people and send you places.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
It'd be great.
They had 3 Baby Merlin sleep suits on.
Put a Mark Cox Morning Show t-shirt on you.
One Mark Cox Show t-shirt and a travel pillow.
I love it. Absolutely.
I'm excited to hear that Toys R Us is coming back to Macy's.
It's fun to go as a child to walk into a toy store.
It was always
and
huge
see
in
all
there.
the opportunities of things that you could get from a toy store. I guess you see everything online and on, like, depending on what you're watching. We watch a lot of YouTube in our house. It'll serve ads for toys and stuff. But to go in a store, if you're going to buy everything online all the time, and kids aren't going to have that opportunity to go into a toy store and experience that, like, limitless possibilities of all of the things that existed that you didn't know. It's wide-eyed stuff.
That thing, what was it called again? The pod? The moon
Mamaru.
baby? Mamaru.
There's like a
Moon baby.
mom for
baby.
mom or something. There's several different
Mom
ones.
for mom.
Is that what it is? Something like that.
There's a ton of different brands of it, but
the Mamaru is what I always refer to it. And the one my sister-in-law had wasn't like the newest version, but you can get them where they're like it connects to your phone and an app, and you can push the button and your baby's rocking and you're laying in your chair.
They make those for it. If they made those for adults, you getting one?
Man, there's a lot of things that I look at like I could totally dig on that. And that might be one of them.
I would try it.
Yes. It's like a hammock, kind of, and I love hammocks.
I would like to actually stand in it just like a standard donut raft, see how long I can stand.
Oh, that still needs to happen.
Yeah, it does.
It might be good if we do the CDR balancing test right before the pool closes and it's nice and chilly outside.
After party, we'll take Tyrus to your house.
See if he can float on.
And I'll try to impress him. Tyrus, look at me. Look at me. Look at me, Tyrus. Look what I'm doing.
Perfect. Speaking of Tyrus, let's give away that 4-pack of tickets right now to win the opportunity to go see Tyrus wrestle. We're going to do caller number 14 to 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. Caller number 14 is going to win a 4-pack of tickets to the National Wrestling Alliance Fan Fest at the Chase Park Plaza, August 28th. It's a Sunday. 2 p.m. is the wrestling match. And I'd love to see you there. 314-241-9797. Caller number 14, Hannah, go get him.
And then, well, I'll be as high as that
This is the Annie Frey Show.
hour that you're living now, 'cause I got friends.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Genevieve Wood, heritage.org.
And let's also be clear, Mark, in some ways, I don't like comparing this to the Hillary Clinton situation or to Sandy Berger, because we don't know if they have anything on Trump.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
Stewart's American Mortgage is the bagel loan guy. And the thing that is special about doing a refinance on your mortgage with Stewie and Stewart's American Mortgage and a bagel loan is that it doesn't cost you anything in fees that every other lender out there is going to charge you. You don't have the fees rolled into the loan. I know that a lot of people think that, oh, Annie, the fees are there. They're just not upfront. That's not the way it works. The fees don't exist. He doesn't stick them somewhere. They don't exist. I have gone through two times of the bagel loan, one time as wanted to lower my rate from our home purchase in about 2015. The second time I wanted to do a cash out refinance. Stewie was there to guide me through the process to explain to me my options and to position me in a better economical position so that we could take care of our family the way we needed to take care of our family. Your circumstances are different. You might be looking to purchase a home, or maybe that cash out refinance will help you get rid of some of that high interest credit card debt. Call Stewie at 314-324-4440. You can text him at 314-324-4440 and let him compete and beat your locked-in rate. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for another Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Thursday, August 11th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online at retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and concerned how all the market volatility is hurting your retirement accounts? Would you like to know why our clients have not lost a penny with all the market losses this year? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can now roll over your 401k tax-free to protect your nest egg and still generate more income than most investment options? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Thursday, August 11th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Call 314-993-9494 or go online at retirementkey.com.
Join Mosby Building Arts every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. on 97.1 FM. Rich Orse and guests give insider tips about renovations, design, construction, exteriors, and more. Tune in to Right at Home with Rich on Saturdays or catch the podcast online.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AAMCO.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-782-8000 or at chrisbuyshomesaintlouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay their rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. And check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And get the offer you have been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in StLouis.com. Chris Buys Homes in StLouis.com or call 314-782-8000.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their honor flight today at gslhonorflight.org, and for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Hot sun beating down, burning my feet just walking around. Hot sun making me sweat. Gators getting
This
close
is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
I'm just standing here selling everything.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. You want to sing that song real quick, Ryan?
I don't remember all of it. It was the joke version of the Toys R Us song, though. It was all I remember is
You already explained this to me. I know that.
well, I'm explaining it to other people because they weren't listening during Phil Collins.
Rude. What were they doing?
They were listening to Phil Collins, not us tell the story. I had to fill them in on what we were talking about. And the version was, I don't remember all the lines, but I remember, I don't want to throw up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Couldn't come up with anything for Toys R Us kid, apparently. But then something, and then from pee to poop to turd soup. It's the biggest gross store there is.
Oh my God.
That's the only other line I remember. It's all the stuff you do when you're a kid. You change all the lines.
Serious question.
Yeah.
When did you grow out of that?
I don't know that I did. I think I still do that.
I don't want to be too like blanket judgmental about people, but is there a part of a boy that never ever actually leaves the brain of a man? Like maybe you keep it to yourself. Like you said, you were thinking about that.
Yeah, the whole time we're doing Toys R Us, I'm like, turd soup.
Is that part of being a
Brad,
man?
you
Yeah,
think so?
yeah, absolutely. I postulate that men don't actually ever grow up. We just act mature when we have to act mature whenever the situation calls for it. But our default setting is,
And when you don't
poop
really
jokes.
know what to do, you just like postulate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, there was a line I used to put in papers it would just make every sentence sound better, and I'd overuse it just to see if anybody called me out on it. And I can't remember it's around the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember what it is, but it's something like that.
Something like that.
In its own inherent right. That's what it was. In its own inherent right. Every time. I sneak that into papers.
So we have a winner from the Tyrus event.
Ooh, let's talk about it. Who we got?
Patrick from Hazelwood won the tickets.
4-pack of tickets to see Tyrus wrestle at the Chase Park Plaza, August 28th, 2:00. Patrick from St. Charles.
Nope, Hazelwood.
Hazelwood.
We had St. Charles the first day.
Patrick from St. Charles.
Yesterday was Chesterfield.
I know nothing. I
Give
know
my
nothing.
tickets away.
Congratulations, Patrick. Thanks for listening. Tomorrow, Tyrus is going to be on the show, as he usually is on Thursdays at 1:05. And we'll give away another 4-pack of tickets tomorrow and Friday. Excited. We've had great response on it, and hopefully we can give you a couple more opportunities, which we intend to do Thursday and Friday to win more tickets. If you want to buy tickets, nwatix.com to see Tyrus wrestle. And also, I'll remind you, we had Jamie Lissow on the show at 12:25 today. It was a really fun conversation with him. Really worth the podcast play. If you don't subscribe to the podcast, you can, but you can rewind on the Odyssey after 12:25 and listen to it. The YouTube poll?
Yes. So the YouTube poll today is asking, considering the seriousness of the recent news headlines, what do you want from the 3-hour talk show? The options are news and information, something entertaining and fun, a combination of both, or it just depends on the day. 66% of the voters said they would like a combination of both, so both entertaining and fun and news and information. 14% of the people said they just want news and information. Also, 14% of the people voted that it just depends on the day, and 6% of the people said they only want entertaining and fun.
Sorry, Ryan, you lost.
I voted for only information.
I bet you did. So 2/3 of the people want a combination of both, because it's difficult as somebody who has to put together 3 hours of conversation that if it's not entertaining, you're going to go find somebody else who's more entertaining than we are. I get that. You've got a lot of choices. You could just turn music on if you're sick and tired of the news all the time. So it is a fine line to walk that we have to do each day here on the Annie Frey Show. But I also feel like I think that this lane that we are in, conservative talk radio, that I love being in, it's a dream of mine to be doing this, and I'm so grateful to be having this opportunity. The lane is super full. And I listen to and have listened to conservative talk radio pretty much my entire life. I'm a Rush baby. My parents listened to it. My grandparents had Camel X on in their kitchens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And post Rush, a lot of people who were able to come into this industry because of what he did and paved the way. To me, the worst thing that happens on a show like this is when the host takes himself too seriously. Do you know what I'm saying? Where you're listening in and you're like, okay, ease up, buddy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I mean, we very much are good at stroking our own egos. we as an industry.
You got a mouse in your pocket?
Because me and Ratatouille, we're good at stroking our own egos.
It's Remy. But anyway.
I don't know the mouse's name.
Ratatouille's the food.
Fine.
You gonna eat that mouse?
I'm not gonna eat it if it's in the food. This is not my point.
This is the combination of both. Carry on.
No, I mean, you the reason that happens, though, is because when you are the center of attention for 3 hours a day and you have to carry a show, you take what you do very seriously, and therefore everything that you say and the weight that you carry feels like it's the end all be all because it's all on you. So I get why hosts end up doing that, but there are a lot of hosts. I'm talking nationally too here that they do. They make a lot of money and they carry a lot of weight, and therefore they think everything they say is terribly important. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes you want to joke.
I also think that the mistake is easy to make, to assume that for me to assume that my opportunity with you as a listener is the only time you're going to hear about this stuff. Like, you can't get away from it. It's everywhere. I don't assume, this might be bad. This might be bad on my part, but I don't assume that if I don't say it, you don't know it. That you come to me to have your brain, you open your brain, I fill it, I close the brain and send you into your day until noon the next day. I mean, like, my phone is blowing up all the time with news and information. You probably turn Fox News on in your house from time to time. And when you go through life like that and you're getting smacked in the face every time you turn around with news and information, sometimes I want to let's do the group therapy thing from noon to 3 and be in this moment together with the understanding of these are the stories that are out there, and kind of move through those 3 hours. And if at the end of the show, I have you really wound up tight and stressed out, I don't feel like I did it right.
We have a ton of comments that came in about this poll. Dan C. from YouTube said, Annie, the passion you bring, coupled with the great information and the great guests you have, make the show so impactful. Keep up the great work. Linda Finger from YouTube said, I need to know the facts about the news, but love to hear you all laugh and get silly. Laughter makes my day go faster. Thanks for doing both. G-Wib said, just keep doing what you're doing.
News and information. Got it.
David from Facebook said, Annie, there are only 2 opening monologues / rants that I look forward to hearing every day, and that is yours and Tucker's. You're
Mine
awesome.
And Gilbert Godfrey. Sometimes it's hard to decipher.
Also, I'm a customer of Aflac.
Mark S. from
That's
YouTube.
a really nice compliment too, by the way. Thank you for whoever said that.
Mark S. from YouTube said, Annie Frey, we love your show because you're not always serious and screaming about politics. I love it when you interject comedy and personal stories. Also, Charles from YouTube said, Annie, this show should be syndicated through mid-Illinois, southern Illinois, eastern Missouri, and western Kentucky.
Wait until we make it to central Kentucky.
Yeah, Paducah's like, well, okay, we got to Paducah, but can we get to Lexington?
Destiny! We will stop. It's like the one bold word I remember.
We want to take you to Nashville. No.
You just
We want to
hold
go
your horses.
to Eastern Kentucky.
That is nice too. Thanks for saying that.
Thank
I'm
you.
not trying to make fun of that person.
And one of my favorite comments is from Officer Gary. He said, I don't think AFS could be a strict news and information show with the current cast of characters.
That sounds like a compliment and criticism.
Yeah,
at the
take
same
that.
time. That's a constructive response. Thanks, Officer Gary. Thank you for everybody who came and voted. And make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube, get notifications every day when we go live, and download that Odyssey app, because you can take 97.1 FM Talk, the whole station, with you in your pocket, in your car, hooked up to your Bluetooth, wherever you go. The best signal in the business, right there in the Odyssey app. Mark Reardon Show coming up next.
Hi guys, it's Andrew. Are you struggling with a